terrible week. And this cruel, cruel mistress we call life. How you guys doing? I'm excited to see you guys here. I see all my beautiful boys in the chat. I love you. I appreciate you. You guys are goated here. I agree. Super moron, by the way. Freaking insane. Meat Puppet, how you doing? Meat Puppet, hope you're doing well. Chad Amsler, Radiosphere, Jay Sledge, Mr. Blasco, Mr. McSteller, Super Stitch over on the Rumble. I appreciate you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun. A statement was just released by Bricks and Minifigs. Just released. They have conceded everything. They are giving up, and they are done, and they are groveling. I'm going to go ahead and say probably a month too late. To be fair, this has been going on for almost 2 years now. Over 2 years, actually. Been over 2 years. So they probably should have done this a long time ago. But that being said, yeah, probably a little too late, unfortunately. But they have conceded. They released a really, really long statement, groveling with their mustaches in the air. It's going to be awesome as hell. And I'm very, very, very excited to see what the hell this is going to say. I agree, Joe. Ben should keep going and just slap them cheeks. Just keep going and slap the left cheek specifically hard as hell. Hard as hell. And I agree with you guys. Reckless Ben should just go after their asses. Now, look, to be completely fair, saving money any way you can is pretty cool. Okay. Lawsuits are not cheap. All right. They are quite expensive, upwards of hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I predict he's going to dip the hell out, right? Go on, take the money and run. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, they have conceded. So we're going to read the whole statement here. So do me a big ass favor and like the show. If you don't like it, it doesn't recommend it to anybody else. So you got to spam that like button a little hard, a little vigorous, and a little tasty like. Chai T with the first super chat of the night says, get this man some milk. Somebody get this man some milk. Thank you, Chai T. I love you and I appreciate you. You're goated as hell. Goated as hell. Joe, I agree with that. The issue is, man, it's lawsuits, regardless of how likely you are to win or what's going on, are still extremely stressful. And I think that's on a lot of people's minds, right? Apparently, it doesn't bother the Bricks and Minifigs CEO at all because they just are in lawsuits 24/7, right? 24/7. But that being said, not everybody likes to be ingrained, juicily sucked into a lawsuit, no pants on, your cheeks are slapped, your penis is flaccid and sad and useless. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible. Not everybody wants that shit. So, at any rate, it is finally looking like it's over, and I'm very, very shocked that this is even happening, to be honest. I thought they would go down forever, for the rest of history, just going down with the ship, right? I figured Eamon McNeff and Matt McNeff would just go down with the ship forever and just be like, you know what? We're going to die. We're going to go bankrupt and die. We're just going to die this way. That's what I thought was going to happen. And apparently, as of an hour ago, 2 hours ago, that's not the case. They are finally giving up. I guess they're finally doing what they should have done this whole time to their employees. They kept using this excuse that their employees, right? Their employees are suffering. They're suffering harassment and stuff, which I agree that's not a good thing. But you hitting back, doing complete media tours, the CEO going on different channels, vigorously defending himself, calling Ben a liar, saying he threatened to kill people, calling the Manziels liars, defending all these people, calling Crystal a crackhead or a heroin addict, calling her a thief, calling Gabe a thief. All these things they did. Okay, did not help their case even remotely. And then they tried to sue every damn body like that was going to work, right? So, unfortunately for them, the damage is done. The damage is done. Oh, yeah. All right, boys, let's pull up the statement. Let's go hard and vigorous. 35 likes from 100. And we're up against the 638 naked snake in a row. 5 years strong of naked snakes in the super chats. Rumble rants and the kickies. Thank you guys so much for keeping it alive. The last two streams, we blew it out the water. It's crazy. It's crazy as hell. So let's have some fun. Let's party and let's get the hell on it. Diggity doggone it. Shout out to all the boys on Kick. Shout out to all the boys on Rumble. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with your boy today. I see you, Jurors Lost Hoodie String. Hey, Dean, brother. So we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to party. We're going to take it easy and get ready for July 4th, which I do plan on July 4th. I do plan on doing a July 4th stream, but it will be probably beside my pool, right? It'll probably be on my phone beside the pool because there's going to be a bunch of people hanging out at my house, and probably just going to spread the 250th anniversary of this great nation together. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you guys come hang out with us Saturday. It's going to be party, and we're going to be drinking, hanging out, and swimming in the pool. Have a bunch of people that you definitely, none of you know. Maybe one you probably know. We're going to have fun. So get the hell on it, doggone it. Let's start up. What's up, Jeff on the roads? How you doing, brother? So here's the statement from Bricks and Minifigs, them finally conceding. They're like, you know what? Get us the hell out of here. Get us out of here, brother. I'm done. They finally are throwing money at Brian Manziel. Finally, after all this time, throwing the money at him, making things right, even though it's a little too late. Tara Strong commented on one of my recent videos, the voice actress for Lego Star Wars. And she said, I also don't think no matter what they do, they're not going to be a hero in this situation. And I was like, based Tara Strong. RLC says, exhausted and probably won't make it the rest of the stream. Watch the band pools and police department go down. It's going to be years of content. Hell yeah, brother. Chatis says, find your American pants. I have American overalls. Everybody will be wearing American like shirts, trunks, overalls. There's going to be like 10 girls all in American bikinis. It's going to be fun, dude. I am quite excited, RLC. Quite excited. So it'll be a good time, brother. All right, boys. Don't forget to join me on July 4th. Let's jump into this goofy-ass statement from Bricks and Minifigs. It is finally over. I'm so surprised it went this long. But here we are. Here we are together as one. Reading the downfall. It says, Bricks and Minifigs determined to find amicable. Hey, look, I'm a redneck from Alabama. Come on. Bricks and Minifigs determined to find amicable resolution with the Manziel family. Damn, can you believe it? I doubt it. Damn. It says Bricks and Minifigs, an authorized Lego reseller specializing in buying, trading, and selling Lego products, today reaffirmed its commitment to assist in resolving the private dispute surrounding a customer's Lego collection at a former franchise store in Salem, Oregon, strengthen its operations, and support its franchisees and employees, which, in my complete opinion, they've been destroying thus far. They've been destroying their employees. They keep hiding behind their employees and franchisees as a shield, saying they're being harassed. People are coming in the store and yelling at them. And I'm like, yeah, that's because of your actions. Now, that's not a good thing. People shouldn't be harassing them. I agree with that all day. But going on a media tour and saying all this insane stuff, calling Crystal a heroin addict, calling Gabe a thief, Crystal a thief, calling Ben a murderer, saying he's threatening to kill people, harassing people, all these insane things, probably wasn't the right way to go about this, to make your employees safer enough to experience this. They're doing that as a reaction to Eamon McNeff, who is the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs, going and saying outrageous shit like that with zero evidence. That's why people are harassing. Should they have been? Of course not. But that's what happened. That's why it was happening. Their actions directly, 100%. It says, subject to its ongoing investigation, Bricks and Minifigs believes and alleges the following facts, among others, may be relevant to claims made in recent weeks. I also have to put this out there, boys. Eamon McNeff and Matt McNeff, the CEO and COO of Bricks and Minifigs, were in a lawsuit. They decided they had the bright idea that they were going to sue Reckless Ben for emotional distress, harassment, stalking, and all that good stuff. Got a restraining order on him as well, including Brian Manziel as well in all of this. Also sued him for $3 million, all the while keeping Brian Manziel's Legos and not paying him. Okay? I don't know whose idea that was. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen a company do in my life, right? That's like you returning something to GameStop, and then the person behind the register being like, oops, we're out of fives. I can't give you any fives. And then he just kicks you out of the store. And then when you say something about it on social media, GameStop sues you for harassment. Oh, yeah, that's going to totally work. I promise you. Very good plan. The Menzel family collection. It says Ed Menzel built the collection at the center of the issue. When the family decided to sell it, Ed's son, Brian Menzel, who apparently was new to the Lego resale world, visited the now closed Salem Bricks and Minifigs store around September 2023 and asked his former owner, Crystal, for help. This is over 3 years ago. It's almost exactly 3 years ago, 2 months away. It says Bricks and Minifigs investigation found documentation estimating the realistic highest retail value at approximately $95,000 to $100,000. That estimate seems to align with Brian Menzel's public statements on April 2025 on a Collecting Weekly podcast, and with roughly 80,000 products or cash he allegedly sought when he is believed to have visited the store in November 2021. Ooh, my God. As a so-called promotional higher value of $200,000, it's believed to have circulated publicly in 2023, but was apparently not a confirmed or appraised value. Bricks and Minifigs believes this was an amount Brian Menzel and Law Gorman used to create excitement for a Law Gorman November 2023 sales event, which Ed Menzel attended. Bricks and Minifigs investigation. Keep in mind, they say Bricks and Minifigs investigation. It's one of those things where like a company investigates themselves and determines everything that they think is true and everything anybody else says is wrong, which I'll never understand. If it was me, if I ran a corporation, I would definitely change the word of an internal investigation. I would not call it that anymore because it sounds dubious. Just do the same thing and call it something else, right? Internal investigation. Ah, yes, we looked into ourselves and found us doing nothing wrong. It's like, oh, really? No shit. I also do that every day. Bricks and Minifigs investigation also found point of sale data showing $61,000 and potentially more may have been sold off from the collection prior to November 14th, 2024. The company believes that Brian Menzel may have only received $15,000 in payments over roughly a year. That's way off, boys. It's way off. The records suggest the discrepancy may exist between what was sold and paid to him, which the company is still investigating, apparently. When the new owners, Brennan Best and Josh Johnson, took over the Salem location, they discovered in the store only a small number of Star Wars products with an estimated cost value between $2,000 and $5,000. The company's investigation suggests most of the remaining collection may have been sold or removed and stored off-site before Best and Johnson took over the location. So they're still sticking to the idea that Josh Johnson definitely didn't show up in a U-Haul. And they're also sticking to the idea that they offer Brian Menzel $2,000 or $5,000 to put it behind them. Like I said, it's like taking your 68 Mustang that's fully restored to an auction, them claiming they lost it, and then they're going to give you 10 grand. It's like, it's worth like 100. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what they're doing here. The information appears to be consistent with Brian Menzel's acknowledgement in joint social media posts with Salem Store and on the same April 2025 Collecting Weekly podcast that his sets were moved to an offsite secure location. So Crystal also confirmed this before she brought them back. Though unable to verify an ownership and without an obligation to do so, the company has offered the remaining Star Wars sets to the family as a courtesy. So nice. Oh, they're so nice. The company has made this offer on multiple occasions since 2024 until recent weeks. Yeah, sure. I love how it says this right here. Without an obligation to do so, they're framing it in a way with wording to make it seem like, oh, we don't have to do this. We're just so kind. Yeah, you've definitely demonstrated over the last couple of weeks that your company is definitely kind, for sure. For sure. We are kind. I am a generous God, you see. We're going to give you free... you don't even need them. We're just so nice. It's a courtesy, you see. The lawsuit is totally fine. Don't just ignore that. Ignore that. You know what I'm saying? Ignore that. But don't ignore the like button. We're only 20 away from 100, boys. The company has offered the remaining Star Wars sets to the family as a courtesy. The company has also repeated its good faith offer to make the Menzel family whole monetarily for anything fairly demonstrated to be unaccounted for, including amounts that may be owed to him without his knowledge. The company is committed to give him every Star Wars Lego item remaining from the Salem store, whether identified as his or not. Please, God, just take whatever you can and leave us alone. Brother, it's got to be a fat check, man. It's got to be a fat check. You know what's what's really interesting about this statement, though, is the fact that they're still like not admitting any wrongdoing, right? It's just sheer hubris. sheer dripping hubris at this point, right? That's what it is. Notably, in an apparent statement to Kaiser Oregon Police, Brian Manziel is believed to have confirmed he received part of the collection back in January 2025. This includes hundreds of items being returned, including high-value items, Star Wars Cloud City sets. So here's the quote. It says, "We understand why this story has stirred so much emotion, and we don't take that lightly. Brother, no one gives a shit about your corporate speech." Okay? You have lost your right to make corporate-y sounding statements after the dumb shit you've done in the last freaking 2 months, right? Does anyone else feel that way? Like, after a company absolutely does the dumbest shit possible live in 4K, you lose your right to be like, we know that this has caused passion and emotion, and we don't take that lightly as professionals. Brother, you had a goofy mustache on camera. It's over, okay? So here's what the CEO says. "We also want to reinforce this is an isolated, unfortunate incident related to a single franchisee who did not obtain an approval for any consignment arrangement." They're repeating the exact same shit. As of right now, why even release this statement? Unless it changes, right? Unless it gets better here shortly. But this statement is quite literally verbatim, almost the exact same statement that they've released a month ago, right? Plus, don't forget they're on film throwing out Crystal Store's birdcage, which means they either threw out the bird or just let it go. Yeah, they don't give two shits. Eamon McNeff continues, "It does not undermine the integrity of our more than 300 independent and unrelated franchisees. Our goal has never changed. Help make this a family whole, enhanced operational process, and build a company our franchisees and customers can be proud of." Absolute bullshit. No one gives two shits about your corporate jargon. No one gives two shits about any of this. Yeah, so we want to make it a good place for the rest of the future. It's like, dude, you lost your right for any of this shit. You lost your right to make any statements related to this. Unauthorized consignment agreement. The apparent underlying consignment arrangement for Lego products is not part of the company's business model or authorized by the franchise agreements or operations manual. So-called consignment services are expressly limited and only allowed for service or experience-based partnerships, such as venue space usage fees, revenue share or commission on other service fees, referral or facilitation fees for bookings made through a store, or bundling as add-ons to Bricks and Minifigs hosted parties and events. And this right here, this sentence, this extremely long sentence, is how I can determine that Bricks and Minifigs is completely detached from reality. All of this right here you just said literally sounds like Arabic to the normal average person. None of this this helps nothing. "Oh, yes, our services are limited, only allowed for a base partnership such as venue, space, revenue, commission, service fees, referral, facilitation, and booking. You're bundling add-ons and hosted parties and events." Yeah, like, what does that even mean? This just sounds like you're throwing a lot of shit in there so you can fall back on your legal team in the future. Well, we put it on our website. It says all the random shit on there. Therefore, no takes backsies. Consignment services do not include and have never been extended to acquiring Lego products, as Bricks and Minifigs operate strictly on a buy-sell trade model. Bricks and Minifigs corporate does not authorize franchisees to enter third-party consignment arrangements for Lego products. To that end, Bricks and Minifigs did not authorize or sign any consignment arrangement respecting to the Salem store's alleged arrangement with Brian Mansell. Yes, but let me use some of Bricks and Minifigs' defense on when people came after them. If you didn't authorize the consignment, does that matter? Because, like you've said before, Eamon McNeff, the CEO, these are franchisees and their problems, and they have nothing to do with Bricks and Minifigs corporate. So, are they defense now? Is that a defense? Are they free? Are they in trouble now? Sounds like that's a win now, right? Because all you have to say is, "Oh, well, it's a franchise. It's their problem. Therefore, corporate wasn't involved," right? So you can't say that you didn't authorize the consignment agreement and also in the same breath say what franchisees do is what they do and has nothing to do with corporate. And then you bought the store and made it a corporate store under the corporate banner. And then all this hell broke loose, right? Bricks and Minifigs believes as of November 2024, Law Gorman, who's Crystal, had stopped making payments on the purchase of the location, had not paid royalties for multiple months, and owed tens of thousands of dollars in other unpaid expenses. At the time of her announced departure, she owed substantial monies to Bricks and Minifigs, which triggered the company's repossession pursuant to its security interests in any on-site inventory, which is absolutely bullshit. If you've watched my streams with Gabe, Bricks and Minifigs will come hostile, take over your store. They will let you slide on rent payments and royalties, and then they'll come back and claim they never did that. And then they'll say you violated your contract, you owe them $100,000. But if you just let them have the store for free, then you don't have to pay the $100,000. It's just a hostile takeover. It's absolute bullshit. All of it's completely fake. Everything right here is completely fake. It's just what they do, and they also understand word salad confuses people. They understand that the normal person will read something like, oh, they didn't pay their rent, so they had to leave. And they'll be like, oh, okay, interesting. Instead of understanding exactly what happened there. Bricks and Minifigs, Eamon McNeff and Matt McNeff told Gabe, who was in the Florida location, Last Relic on YouTube, that, oh, he didn't have to pay royalties for December or rent or whatever. And they were going to pay, it was either rent or royalties, and they were going to pay for that month. He didn't have to worry about it. And then out of nowhere, when he got a lot of inventory and the store was now profitable, guess what happened? They came in, claimed that he violated contract for not paying that rent/royalties for that 1 month, right? Claimed he violated his contract, said he owed them $70,000, but if they let them have the store for free, instead of them paying him for his inventory, then guess what? He didn't have to pay those fees. So it was a hostile takeover. It's the exact same thing they did with the Crystal. And they think normal people don't know about that, but we do. We're smarter than the average bear here, okay? What's up, real bird? Shout out to RLC Tech, top dog of the super chats tonight. I love you. I appreciate you, brother. Get the hell on it, man. I love you, and I appreciate you. Shout out to the boy. Up against the 638 naked snake in a row. Oh, my God. Operational reforms to strengthen the company and franchisees. So this is what BAM is changing up, apparently. What's up, Lesser Logic? This is what BAM is apparently going to change up to fix everything. How much do you want to bet it's word salad that means nothing? Bricks and Minifigs believes accountability means more than words. What? What? Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Bricks and Minifigs believes accountability means more than words. This is not extreme. This is not Nuno Betancourt. More than words is all I have. No, it's not that, brother. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Says Maverick Cuba, all a simple white boy likes me hears when someone talks like that is quack, quack, then a hog out. That's what I'm saying, brother. That's what I'm saying, brother. Hell yeah. It's exactly what I'm saying. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Thank you, Patrick Power. I love you. It's bullshit. All right. Bricks and Minifigs believes in accountability. I doubt it. So it continues to strengthen its operation through rigorous record keeping and inventory management. Unless franchisees have nothing to do with corporate, I still don't understand that. So this reminds me of PayPal, eBay, right? So if you have an issue with PayPal, right, and you go to PayPal about it, they'll tell you to go to eBay. And then if you go to eBay about it, they tell you to go back to PayPal. And if you go back to PayPal, they tell you to go back to eBay. And they keep running you in circles forever. That's kind of what this reminds me of. Because Bricks and Minifigs, if they have a problem with the franchisee, they claim they have nothing to do with it because they themselves are Bricks and Minifig corporate. They have nothing to do with franchisees. But if something goes fucked up the other direction, then they say, oh, well, we got to take care of this because it's in our benefit and our profit to do so. But if it's not, they don't, right? That's just how that works. Especially if they are in the wrong. Oh, it was not us. It was another person, you see. The company mandates real-time digital tracking for the moment a collection enters a store, creating a permanent record to protect customers and its franchisees. If only we had something like that back in the day. Absolute transparency in buy, sell, trade. Oh, I doubt it. Every transaction, especially large-scale trades, require standardized corporate approval, disclosure forms, off-the-book side deals, and local consignment arrangements remain strictly prohibited. Remain as if they totally weren't in the contract agreements, as if we don't have screenshots of it. But again, Bricks and Minifigs, the people in power at Bricks and Minifigs just assume nothing has ever happened and no one can ever look it up, right? You will watch the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs make a statement, and you can pull up he'll be like, this isn't true, this isn't true. And you can pull up a screenshot of literally him saying the complete opposite. Like lies as easy as he breathes. And to be fair, he probably doesn't even notice he's doing it. Mandatory professional behavior and de-escalation training. All right, well, maybe the CEO and the COO should invest in that themselves personally. Comprehensive training for corporate staff, franchise owners, and their teams, cover professional boundaries, dispute handling, and proper corporate protocols. These operational enhancements benefit all involved and will help avoid potential future misunderstandings. I doubt it. I doubt it. So here's the frequently asked questions of Bricks and Minifigs. It says, does Bricks and Minifigs business model include the type of third-party consignment in the Mansell family dispute? Look at this. They're just still like just drilling this home as hard as they can. They've learned nothing. They've learned nothing. No, since the company was founded in 2009, the model has always been buy, sell, trade. A third-party consignment has never been part of the model. The franchise agreement or operations manual, no franchisee has ever been authorized to enter a third-party consignment product sales arrangement on behalf of the company. Consignment services are only allowed for service or experience-based partnerships. And then they just copy and paste the same thing from earlier. A lot of good work, a lot of good transparency there. What's up, Junebug? Says, was Bricks and Minifigs corporate a party to consignment agreement at the Salem store? Of course. Look at this. Every single question. Frequently asked questions. By who? By who? Who are these frequently asked questions by? Because it sounds like Matt and Eamon McNeff literally are the ones writing the FAQ. Are Bricks and Minifigs in any way, shape, or form to blame in any of these things? Actually, no, they're not. Story over. It's over. We win now. That's just what this reads like. Was Bricks and Minifigs ever a party to consignment agreement at Salem store? Literally, no one has asked that except for Matt and Eamon. What's up, Lightfair? No, corporate did not sign, approve, or authorize the arrangement. We believe former owner Crystal Law Gorman entered it as a personal local arrangement and never introduced corporate or the incoming franchisees to the family. Although, on camera, literally on camera, Crystal is explaining the entire consignment agreement to Brandon Best when he's taking over the store. On camera in fucking 4K. But it's fine just to pretend like you never saw that. Totally cool, Toasty. Totally cool. Such side deals are expressly prohibited under the company's franchise agreements. Okay. All right, then. It's totally fine. Just ignore your lying ears and eyes, my friends. Was it realistic? Was it the realistic value of the Mansell collection? Look at this. What is the realistic value of the Mansell collection? Documentation discovered to date estimates the realistic high-end value at approximately $95,000 to $100,000. This amount appears to be consistent with what Brian Mansell stated publicly in a podcast in November 2024. Where the $200,000? Look, it's all just like, we didn't do anything wrong. It's all totally fine. Ignore everything you've seen. Bricks and Minifigs believes the $200,000 figure was never confirmed or appraised. It was a promotional amount used to generate excitement for publicity display event held in November 2023. What is the company's resolution offer to Brian Mansell today? I guarantee you it's the exact same offer that they've said before. Nothing. We'll just give you some Legos, brother. That's what it's going to be. 100%, right? 100%. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure 100% of you in chat like the show. Thank you. I love when I forget my water. Now I get to suffer the whole stream. I didn't eat today because I'm a dumbass, but it's fine. It's completely fine. What is the company's resolution offer to Brian Mansell today? Bricks and Minifigs representatives have expressed its interest that he be made whole monetarily for anything fairly demonstrated to be unaccounted for. Look how they put fairly demonstrated. Guess who gets to determine what is fairly demonstrated? I'm going to give you guys in the chat just a small little guess on who gets to determine what is fairly demonstrated. You want to bet who gets to determine what's fairly demonstrated? Who wants to bet? I guarantee you it's Bricks and Minifigs. Here's all the documentation. Nah, we don't believe it. Therefore, we're giving you nothing. You get nothing. Good day, sir. The company is also willing to give him every single Star Wars Lego item remaining from the Salem store, whether identified as his or not. That's their point right here, right? That is it right there. Identified as his or not. So that's their compromise here. Compromise. Well, we'll just give you the Star Wars. They can't give them money, right? What is the company doing to help prevent similar situations? The copy and paste literally from earlier. Why did the Salem store close? It closed temporarily because staff, including local teenagers, faced safety hazards, targeted in-person stalking, and explicit threats, believed to be driven by inaccurate reporting or social media communications and videos. It was not closed due to losing any lawsuits related to this matter, despite claims otherwise. It has been since permanently closed with a formal separation and resignation by Brandon Bess and Joshua Johnson, who, by the way, still own the Eugene location. This whole statement is riddled with random lies. And because what Bricks and Minifigs is hoping for is that no one ever researches any of this. Please don't Google any of this. Just take it at value. This will definitely help, for sure. Look at this. What kind of harassment have Bricks and Minifigs stores and employees experienced? Again, this half of the statement is just painting themselves as victims. They have learned literally zero. Nothing. They can't swallow their pride for 2 seconds and be like, hey man, yeah, we fucked up. They can't do it. It's impossible. They're a bunch of bitch tits. What kind of harassment have they experienced? Many of the company's network of more than 300 locations have faced a campaign of negativity and social media commentary and various forms of harassment, unauthorized filming, including teenage employees being confronted and recorded at their first jobs. What does this have to do with anything? Private families contacted their homes, physical altercations, burglary at stores, negative reviews, inappropriate comments and messages, and communities disrupted by threats. Where's the proof? By the way, something very, very important here. Very, very important. The entire existence of all this negativity came from the actions of of Matt and Eamon McNeff. Their actions led to anything that could have happened in these stores. They did all of it, 100%. And they're blaming social media as if people aren't allowed to say anything on social media. Inappropriate comments and messages. Is this your first time on social media, sir? What is the company's position on this conduct? Bricks and Minifigs supports every person's right to free speech, unless, of course, you're Brian Manziel or Reckless Ben, who have a restraining order on you and can't actually talk about Bricks and Minifigs at all. Totally fine. And fair questions, which they probably consider fair questions, like how old are you? What's your favorite color? Anything else, totally off the table. But unlawful conduct such as harassment, stalking, threats is neither advocacy nor consumer protection. The company's stores are private small businesses with the right to conduct business safely and to protect their premises and employees. Absolute dog water statement that quite literally, unironically, says the exact same thing. The exact same thing as they've been saying this whole time. The whole time. Right? Here's the X post. So it says, major update. Bricks and Minifigs will return the remaining Legos to the Manzels, and a new lengthy article posted directly on their website. Corporate will return the remaining sets and make the family whole monetarily while enacting new strict inventory reforms. The only thing I've taken from this entire statement is the fact that they're going to have like a digital inventory. That is it. Everything else is them just repeating the same shit, like almost verbatim. Key language noted, isolated, unfortunate incident, distances corporate from single Salem, still dodging accountability, of course, unauthorized consignment and arrangement, signals an off-the-book side deal, still blaming Gormans entirely, protecting corporate from the previous owner's liabilities, make the family whole monetarily, frames their settlement offer as good faith resolution only due to public scrutiny, promotional higher value refames the $200,000 claim to a lower financial benchmark of $95 to $100K. Great news just one day before the June 30th hearing. I doubt it. I absolutely doubt it. What's up, little L Bricks? How you doing, brother? What's up, Jay Crane? How you doing, brother? How you doing, son? Hope you're doing well. Shout out to the top dog today, to Mr. Maverick Cuba and RLC Text, top dog and super chats up against the 638th Naked Snake in a row. Oh my God. A gold, pink, orange, red from a rainbow night. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see how people are reacting to this. It says the Manziels no longer own the remaining Lego sets. They sold them to 10 people who tried to file 10 separate $10,000 spending cases on Oregon. Will Manziel now have to say he never sold the remaining sets? So they're basically just admitting they were in the wrong and nuked their own court case. They never had a case. You know, Diet says it seems like they're trying to reverse the damage from public backlash. The issue is they said the exact same shit. The statement was identical to what they've said before, with the exception of digital inventory. And also giving Brian Manziel like random Lego sets. Just random Lego sets for some reason. As if, and they also stated that they're doing it and they have no responsibility to do so. What? Oh, out of the goodness of our hearts, you see. Maverick Cuba says, why people need our version of Chim Out? Should it be Hog Out or Rage Piggin? 1492, 1776, Going Crusader, or just 1488? Let me think about that. We call it White Boy Summer, Maverick Cuba. How you doing, brother? Thank you, dude. I love you, man. Maverick Cuba coming in strong with another orange boy. Shout out to my boy. He's been a heavy hitter lately, and we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, man, for supporting my tiny little channel. I really appreciate you, man. Means a lot to your big-headed redneck man. Thank you, dude. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Shout out. All right. Harvey says, oh, look like Chuck the Builder. It's a lie. It's a lie. Thank you, Harvey. Little says lowest value Lego. Exactly. Did they agree to drop the charges? Hell no. Of course not. It has, dude, these people are absolute aliens. You got to understand, Jay Crane. These guys in like the CEO, the COO, they grew up hyper wealthy. They have zero perspective. Zero. That's why they can't release a statement at all without claiming 50% victimhood throughout the entire statement and just ooze with contempt with every word. You know what I'm saying? They can't just be like, hey, we fucked up. We're going to make this dude whole. We're reaching out to him. And we can't wait to fix this. It's going to be great. You know, this all got to a point that it should have never got to. And that should be the end of the statement. Not, but also people are being mean about my mustache. And I really like my mustache. It's really cool. And they're being mean and saying it's not cool. So this is wrong. And I don't like it. They're threatening me by saying my mustache sucks. That's what they're doing. They just can't fucking just swallow the pride, brother. Ken says they had to do this one way or the other. Now let's see them drop the suit. And I'd say fire the CEO, but isn't that the owner? Sell the company then. Nobody wants to do business with people. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Didn't they do a court order to steal $500,000 from the GoFundMe or whatever? Yep. They did. The court order was to give any crowdfunding or revenue made on YouTube. Yep. Rinlo says they should keep going and bury these people for how they acted. The time to apologize was months, if not years ago. I honestly want to see jail time for Brian and Josh for their abuse. Plaga says settle at $150K minimum for the hassle. Drop the lawsuit and bin and fire all these cops. Then it works. Yeah. Now, look, I don't know if they're going to have any kind of authority to fire the police, but settle at $150K and drop the lawsuit on Ben, 100%. That's bare minimum. That is absolute bare minimum. Thank you, Little Bricks. Appreciate you. Bare minimum. Drop the lawsuit, settlement at $150K. Bare ass minimum. You know what I'm saying? You ever wearing a towel, you know, and then your towel drops and it's just your bare ass? That's what we need to see. Bare ass minimum. Joel said they already said that line a month ago and then attacked everyone again. They have as much credibility as an Iran war peace deal. Yeah, 100%. They've said all these things before. I thought I was reading an old statement. I had to scroll up to look at the date of the statement because I was like, wait a second. Is this what is this? This can't be new. They're saying the same shit. Ian Kelly says, I think it's a bit too late for Bricks and Minifigs to redeem themselves. They've damaged their whole reputation more than any YouTuber could ever hope to do through their ridiculous lawfare, false accusations, and turning a blind eye to flat-out theft by new franchise owners. 100%. 100%. It's like it doesn't even matter. They have done this numerous times. Notice they're not dropping the lawsuit against Brian. Notice they are saying this publicly and in a very generic manner. Notice they're not saying how many Star Wars sets are in the store. For example, unprofessional, 100%. Bunch of bitch. A bunch of big ass bitches. Big ass bitches, boys. No shame. No shame in a single morsel of their souls. And you have no shame. If you don't like the stream, hit the like button, boys. Close your chat out, hit the like button. Get the hell on it, doggone it. I know they moved it and screwed everything up. Find it. Hit it. Touch it. Bop it. Fuck it. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. All right. Let's move on to the next portion. The next portion, right? The next beautiful portion that is irrelevant. Irrelevant. As if they can even fix this. I'm shocked, I tell you, shocked. Uh-oh. Oh. It says, someone just shared a very interesting update in the Reckless Bin Discord server. Paraphrase from the thread, a quick YouTube search for bricks and minifigs filtered by today reveals some fresh activity across multiple locations. The Cherry Hill and Rochester locations have both launched new channels, each uploading their first video, a standard video, and a short ad. Meanwhile, the Roseville location posted a new ad, breaking a year-long hiatus. This is all at the exact same time as a statement come out, which I guarantee you, the corporate at Bricks and Minifigs thinks it's going to fix something. They think, unironically, this statement that's a bunch of bullshit is going to fix anything. Guess what? It's totally not. It's not fixing shit. Okay? The only way to fix this is to shave your mustache off, give them 150 grand, drop the lawsuit. Why is it that hard? Can anyone tell me why it's that hard? I feel like I'm going insane. Is it really that hard to drop the lawsuit? Give these people 150 grand and move the hell on with your lives. And shave your goofy fucking mustache. How dare you? How dare you? Little L Brick says, I lived in Utah for nearly 20 years, from 80 to 98, and I used to try to warn people how places are there, and no one believed me until now. Until now. Lots of pride or something. Yeah, Brooks, dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, brother. Brian has owed a lot more than 150K at this point. Yeah, I don't disagree, Insider Man. The issue is there's like, what's the bare minimum, right? I'm saying bare minimum, drop a lawsuit, 150K settlement. And then you start negotiating from that starting point. You know? Irikaya says, yeah, he's too deep in it to drop it because of the actual fake crime reports. Oh, well, they're fucked. They're fucked. This lawsuit is going to go, it's going to go into a court. They're screwed. They're going to look like a bunch of baby back bitches dripping with barbecue sauce. And not the good kind. Not the freaking really spicy, just like hearty kind. The rotten ass kind. You know? Joe Smoke says take BAM for everything and make the stores non-existent. I don't disagree. 250K. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Take them for all they're worth. Bleed them dry. Take everything and leave them nothing, right? That's how this needs to be. Take everything, leave them nothing. Slap them right on the pisser. I'd say sue BAM for 40 to 100 million. Damn! Little L's going hard. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. It's too much, man. You're killing me. You're killing me. It hurts. It hurts, brother. What else are we supposed to do in life? Except suffer. Suffer. No, thank you. No, thank you, brother. No, thank you. At any rate, let's pull up the Echo Base networks about this. This will be interesting right here. God, my freaking feet are numb as hell. They're numb as hell, boys. Numb as hell. Shout out to the top dog today, Mr. Mavic Cuba at $10. I love you, buddy. I appreciate you. We're up against the 638th naked snake in a row. From Super Chats, I appreciate you. Get the hell on it, diggy dog on it. If you're not a member, become a member, boys. Get the hell on it, diggy dog on it. I'm going to start a membership goal of 250 members per month. And if we hit the 250 member goal, we're going to do a gaming stream, something probably like, you know, like Halo, stuff like that. You know, games for old people like me, like Halo 2 or Halo Reach or something, and do a multiplayer stream with all the tier 2 and tier 3 guys. So that's something I'm going to have on the docket. So that'd be a lot of fun. All right, let's continue, boys. It's time. It's time. Like the stream. Can you imagine if Reckless Ben owned BAM? If I owned it, I'd liquidate it and get the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Get the hell out. All right, here we go. Close that shit down. That's what I used to say I used to fantasize about owning GameStop and then burning it down. This is when I didn't like it a lot. I mean, I still don't care for it, but I'm more indifferent now.
Statement through Business Wire that nobody's talking about. And this is not an independent article. Business Wire is a press release platform, which means BAM just put its own official version of the Reckless Ben controversy on public record. But there's a major problem. Reckless Ben isn't able to say anything right now because he's still being confined by the TRO. And
isn't that so great? You know, some people call me coach. Isn't that so great that Bricks and Minifigs can make statements about this whole situation, but no one else, all the people they're suing can't? How the fuck is that legal? How is it that someone can put you under a restraining order where you can't talk about anything publicly, but the company can? That makes no sense.
In the meantime,
if they're only allowed to talk, they're setting the narrative. They get to write what is considered fact now. It's insane. What's up, Donna?
BAM making a public PR statement. Doesn't seem very fair, does it? And even bigger than that, when you actually read BAM's statement, it raises even more questions. They talk about the value of the Mansell collection, money that may be unaccounted for, the Salem store, franchisee responsibility, harassment claims, and one of the biggest pillars of the defense, the claim that Lego product consignment was never part of their business model and was never authorized. But tonight, we're not just reading through BAM's public statement that has all of its holes and misinformation in it. We actually have our friend The Last Relic join us, who is a former Bricks and Minifigs store owner. If you don't know Relic, his store was actually...
By the way, Last Relic, they robbed Last Relic blind. Absolutely blind. Okay? I actually have his termination letter. He sent me his termination letter, which we'll pull up. It is insane.
Seized by Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson. Relic is very closely linked to all of this. He knows every single one of these people, and he's spoken with Ben a few times recently. Relic's going to be able to show you his firsthand experience, and he's going to be able to show you BAM's own private contract language. And what you're going to see runs directly in opposition to what they just said in their statement. So the question here is...
That's the thing with Bricks Minifigs. You can pull up and refute everything they say, and they just pretend like you didn't say it. That's what they do. That's their strategy. We don't allow this thing. And it's like, here's a contract saying you do, and then they just like leave and then put more mustache oil on their mustache. You know what I'm saying? It's very weird. Yeah, little L Bricks. I read that as well. I don't know, man. I don't know. Thank you, Plush to Doolish. I love you. Appreciate you. I love you and I appreciate you, brother. Get the hell on it, dog on it. We're going to start a super chat goal in the chat for gold, boys. We used to do this thing like years ago. I feel like it was, I don't know if it was years ago. When I play games, the gold raid, the golden shower raid. Is that what I called it? Yeah, I called it a golden shower. What the hell? Why'd I stop doing that? Yeah, it's funny. I'm stupid. God, what happened to me? What happened to me? What have I become? My something friend. Everything I know goes away in the end. All right, anyways. 20 gold, boys, for the golden shower naked snake goal. Get the hell on it, dog on it. Thank you, boys.
Simple. Did BAM finally answer the Reckless Ben controversy? Or does this official statement just create bigger problems for BAM?
Yep. 100%. It does. It completely creates more problems. It doesn't.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel, Echo Base Network here. Coach, we got Nick, and we got our friend, former Bricks and Minifigs owner, and our good friend, The Last Relic, down here. We are going through today's PR release. Oh my goodness. If you have not read through this, we're going to read it through it with you, and we got some expert commentary, some firsthand experience commentary.
I'm excited to see what Gabe says about this. He going to rip him a new asshole.
Terry with The Last Relic. You guys are going to be stunned, perhaps, when we go through this. So, and just to set the record straight, Business Wire, this is an official public statement. This is public record from BAM. This is not some news article that was investigated and written by some writer. No.
Yeah, this is from BAM, and it's actually from their marketing team on their website. Which, again, it's very, very unfair. They get to make a statement, right? They get to make a statement while Reckless Ben, Brian Manziel, none of them can say anything at all. You know what I'm saying? This is like knocking out somebody in the street and then just kicking their unconscious body.
So this is actually something produced by Bricks and Minifigs Corporate This information gets shoved out by Business Wire to all the news agencies. That's how news breaks. You break something, you upload something to Business Wire, a PR statement or whatever you want, and then it gets pushed out. So here we go. Salt Lake City Business Wire, Bricks and Minifigs, an authorized Lego reseller specialized in buying, trading, and selling Lego products. That's going to be a big factor here in a minute. Notice buying, selling, and trading Lego products. Today reaffirmed its commitment to assist in resolving the private dispute surrounding a customer's Lego collection.
Reaffirmed it's committed to assisting in resolving the private dispute. Resisting or assisting in resolving the private dispute. The dispute is against them and BAM. It's against them and BAM. It's not against a former franchise store. That shit's gone. It's against BAM. And they're not committed to assisting in resolving it because it's not resolved. If I was the CEO of this company, brother, because I don't have that. I don't have a freaking super insane level 70 butter golem style pride bone in my body, right? I'm about saving the company. If it was me, you know what I'm doing? I'm reaching out to Brian Menzel. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to offer you 150 grand. We're going to offer you any of these Lego sets that might be missing in this store and, you know, see where we can go from there. Let's sit down and talk about it. And let's fix this and put this all behind us because this is not a way a company should be acting. And I'm here to fix that as the CEO. That's what I would do. But they're not doing that. They're just like, oh, people are being mean. Help me. People are being mean. I haven't walked in weeks. David says, didn't you have Last Relic on one of your streams? I've had him on, I think, twice. I might be wrong, though.
At a former franchise store in Salem, Oregon. That's the store that everybody knows. That's no longer a store, by the way. It's been permanently shut down. Strengthen its operations and support its franchisees and employees. Subject to its ongoing investigation, Bricks and Minifigs believes and alleges the following facts, among others, may be relevant to claims made in recent weeks. So this is who we are, and I'm about to lay down some facts for all of you out there to know in the public about our store,
they're facts. They're facts. They're truth.
Yeah, they're truth.
So-called facts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Starting with
alleges the following facts. Alleges facts. I don't think that makes much sense. What's up, MA? Alleges facts. I feel like that's like what, an oxymoron? I don't know if that's the right word. I'm a dumb man. But it's funny that they get to allege their own facts and no one else gets to speak on it because they have restraining orders. How nice. Well,
the Mansell family collection. Ed Mansell built the collection. And this is coming from BAM. Every word of this. Ed Mansell built the collection at the center of the issue. When the family decided to sell it, Ed's son, Brian Mansell, who was apparently new to the Lego resale world, visited the now-closed Salem Bricks and Minifigs store around September 2023 and asked its former owner, Crystal Law Gorman, for help. Bricks and Minifigs investigation found documentation estimating the realistic highest retail value at approximately $95,000 to $100,000. That estimate seems to align with Brian Mansell's public statements on an April 2025 Collecting Weekly podcast and with the roughly $80,000 in products or cash he allegedly sought when he is believed to have visited the store around November 21st, 2024. Guys, got to ask you a question here. When has Bricks and Minifigs publicly said what the collection was worth to them? I don't know of them ever doing that.
No, because I don't remember them doing it because everything I remember is them saying they don't have the Legos. They don't know where they're at.
They said they don't have the Legos and they don't have an itemized list, even though they had an itemized list since 2024, by the way. And on CoffeeZilla's video revealed pretty much like the closest value he come up with these actual Legos. CoffeeZilla did it. BAM couldn't figure it out because, to be honest, they didn't care and they didn't want to. Now there's a number attached to them, and the number's not low, right? Keep in mind they claimed that all Brian was owed was maybe $2,000 to $5,000.
They don't know anything about it, so how could they give a value on something that they said that they don't have?
And they've also said multiple times that they've never seen any Google Docs about the inventory list that was provided to Crystal. They you see it on CoffeeZilla's video, you see that they provided an inventory list, and that's a good start. But then they also say they didn't see the other inventory list. And what are they actually valuing? Only the sets? Is there minifigures? What's the what does it encompass? Where is it? If you're gonna put this out, where's the document that says
and how much was sold? And how much was sold? And was any of it paid out to Brian Mansell?
And see, here's my issue: this is all noise. At this point, they're like, why are we splitting hairs to like the dollar amounts? Well, 90 grand, I don't know, maybe 100, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, your company's doomed forever. Even if you do fix this, it's probably doomed forever, right? Stop splitting hairs and just write a check and put it behind you. God. Any CEO of any major corporation would have fixed this in a week, maybe less. But you have somebody who shouldn't even be remotely close to being a CEO. It's a spoiled rich kid who's a CEO, should never be in this role in a billion years ever in this role. But luckily, his daddy bought the company for him. So it all worked out in the end. And he has no idea what he's doing. And it's embarrassing as shit as somebody that comes from an upper corporate management world. It's hyper embarrassing. Oh, Brian, magic. Even if Pricks and Mini Dicks came out and did the right thing now, there's so much to attempt to ruin so many lives, they'll never recover from this. And they shouldn't. They shouldn't. Tara Strong, she commented on one of my recent videos. The famous Tara Strong. And she said they could never be heroes in this situation. Even if they fix it, they're not the heroes of this story. Right? And that's no truer statement has ever been said. Jadine with an orange boy before a gold boy. We got an orange boy instead of a gold boy. 1 out of 20. It has started. The gold boy golden shower train has begun. It's left the station. Jadine. Thank you, Jadine. I really appreciate you and I love you. What a good person you is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jadine, everybody give Jadine some love in the chat for that huge drop. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you, Jadine. I love you. Oh, unconditionally. Unconditionally. Fuck them, liars. Wish I was in Dixie. Hell yeah. That's where I am. Thank you so much, Jadine. I appreciate that. Shout out to Jadine. Giant W. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Sean. Brother, all the internet sleuths have put together the craziest amount of evidence and it's being fed to the feds and the owner is rebelling in any organized way. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You know, I'm pretty sure you, Sean, I'm pretty sure you, Gabe, the Echo Base boys, I'm sure all these guys would be capable of fixing this if they could have stepped into Eamon McNeff's shoes like 2 years ago. Right? Fixed it immediately. But the sheer hubris of that mustache can't be contained. It can't be contained. Why does it say 10? God, I'm stupid. It can't be contained, you see. Hope you had fun at the convention, Sean. I have one I have to go to in like 2 weeks. And I'm like, no. Because I like to sleep, you know.
Not at all.
Well, and the store was open the next day, too.
Yeah.
Like when they took over, they were making sales the next day. So did they even track that?
So it just seems awfully convenient to me that a week and a half after CoffeeZilla's video saying that he estimates the collection being worth about $107,000, here they are making a PR statement saying the collection is worth approximately $95,000 to $100,000. Bricks and Minifigs investigation found documentation estimating. Where is that documentation? Like I need to see that. Everybody needs to see that. I think that's probably going to be undervalued. But there's a bigger problem here.
Yeah, if you are championing absolute transparency, right? Absolute transparency, right? If they're actually giving transparency to people, then they would show this actual list. But they didn't.
Or two than just that. So and we're going to get there in just a second. There's more about the collection.
Yeah. And also real quick, I just wanted to add, Eamon said in the CoffeeZilla video, you know, when he pulled up the spreadsheet, oh, where was this? This is the first time I'm seeing this.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Exactly. Good call. It is Eamon, Nick. Eamon. Okay.
Yeah, I say Eamon because that's what Sheldon calls him.
It says Amon.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Amon. Yeah, Amon. Yeah.
Here we go. A so-called promotional higher value of $200,000 is believed to have circulated publicly in 2023. We all know how that happened, but was apparently not a confirmed or appraised value. Bricks and Minifigs believes this was an amount Brian Mansell and Crystal Law Gorman used to create.
By the way, in this statement, which we read it a little bit earlier, this statement mentions Crystal Gorman like 5 times. Keep in mind what Bricks Minifigs wants to do is distance himself even further, I guess, from being responsible. I'm sorry, brother. The name on the sign says Bricks and Minifigs. You're fucked. Okay. People used to come in my GameStop trying to return stuff from Walmart. Okay. You're not escaping that. Brian says, oh, Brian, Do you think that even if they came out in full into the right thing, they'll ever recover? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The damage is done. The only way they could have prevented this is if right when it blew up, and I mean right when it blew up, okay, they came in and fixed it that day or 2 days later or a week later. Going on a media tour, the CEO going on a media tour, dumbest thing you could have ever done.
Excitement for a Log Orman November 2023 sales event, which Ed Mansell attended. Look, that's true. Okay. So they sprinkle a little bit of truth here. There's your truth. I mean, that happened. They said it was worth about $200,000. If you go back up here a paragraph, they're trying to say it's worth half of that. We don't know if that's the case yet. You know, it doesn't matter what anybody else's estimation is. There's a lot more that has to happen with the valuation of this collection. Okay. We don't have all the evidence there yet. So Bricks and Minifigs investigation also found point of sale data showing about $61,000 and potentially more may have been sold from the collection prior to November 14th. The company believes Brian Mansell may have only received approximately, listen to this, guys, $15,000 in payments over roughly a year. The record suggests a discrepancy may exist between what was sold and paid to him, which the company...
Yeah, no shit. Really? No way. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I have to say the winner sentence in this entire statement is Bricks and Minifigs believes in personal accountability, right? Literally made me bust out loud laughing when they said that shit. I'm like, you're fucking with me, right? That's like Jeffrey Dahmer saying he believes on treating people fairly when they're in his room watching The Exorcist 3. You know what I'm saying? That's what that reminds me of. That's what it does. Shout out to Jadeem, by the way. First gold boy / orange boy of the golden shower. 19 left in super chat. Golds.
Is still investigating. So they did an investigation and they have found that Brian Mansell has been grossly underpaid.
Yeah.
We got that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, also like this has been stated before. As Crystal talked about it, like if she screwed up, like, you know, I think in the CoffeeZilla video, like she'll own up to it, where she sold around $50,000 or $60,000 worth of his product, but he only got around $15,000, which he should have gotten around 24, 23 from the percentage they agreed upon. So yeah, but like again, still grossly underpaid, and you know, Bricks and Minifigs took this over. So like, why haven't they paid, you know, or at least gotten the Gorms pay? And the other thing is where it says the November 2023 sales event in the franchise agreement, the first paragraph, at least my first paragraph in the franchise agreement, it says that we are able to provide consignment services. And I get the difference between the operation manual where it's like we don't operate consignments or whatever, but then there's the trade in the buy sell trade model. And the other point is like, how long did it go after this? How much did you guys know about this event, then allowed it to continue before discussing it with Crystal? And then it doesn't even matter at that point, because when Brandon took it over, there was no dispute on him taking over the consignment. Yeah.
So I agree. And we're going to get, there's a lot.
Yeah. And that's the weirdest thing about all this is them making statements over and over about not knowing about this consignment agreement, but you can just watch on camera Crystal explaining it to Brandon as they took over the store. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very interesting shit. It's all lies. Federal courts eager to look at this one. Oh, I can't even imagine it goes well. I can't imagine this goes well.
More involving the consignment issue, because that's a pillar of their defense. And we're basically going to be able to crack that down right here in just a second for you guys.
And also, has Brian Mansell publicly said that he has gotten paid for some of the Lego collection? Because I was
14 or 15,000.
Yeah, by Crystal, but he's gotten offers from Bricks and Minifigs, I guess, from the beginning of them, like offering sets, but it didn't equal anything to the amount that he was left for him to be paid. Like it was like 10,000 or something like that.
So we got another issue here too, with this entire thing. The part of the discrepancy of the PR statement that we just read, BAM is admitting that there's a payment discrepancy, that it exists. Crystal Log Orman got $15,000, about $60-something thousand was sold. Where's the rest? Okay, we're only talking about what was sold and what was paid to Crystal. So if BAM knows, this is their own words, if BAM knows that kind of discrepancy exists, why did this become a fight with Reckless Ben instead of a faster resolution with the Mansell family? Because
their egos were bruised. And again, they have different perspectives. So a lot of people are looking at, you know, Eamon McNeff and this company and this family, and they don't understand the motivation. They don't understand why they keep fighting. The reason they're fighting is because their perspective is completely screwed from their upbringing, right? They got made fun of, their butts are hurt, and they're going to what they know, and that's filing lawsuits. Fuck, they sued their own father, right? That's what they know. That's all they know. And they don't realize that they're being unreasonable. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize they're being unreasonable because why? Why? Because they don't see it any differently. O'Brien Magic says the funniest thing about the lies is how easily debunked they are. They're like, I don't eat brownies with chocolate all over their face and a half-eaten brownie in their hand. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. It's crazy. Sensor Beam, what's up, buddy? Welcome back. He says BM, BAM won't give up. They and Ben will get equal treatment. Both sides will win, but they'll face a lot of trust. Meanwhile, a few loyalists will stand by each side regardless. I think Bricks and Minifigs is kind of fucked, though.
Why go through all these hoops and all this stuff? This could have been easily resolved. So that tells me that there's
stupid
there's
and
more.
greedy.
Yeah,
Stupid and greedy. Because this also is like, hey, by the way, we knew about the sets the whole time. When multiple times they said, oh yeah, we have them, we don't have them, we have them, we don't have them. Now they have an official PR statement saying we have them and we appraise them, and this is the value that we came out to.
Right. So we're going to close in here on the.
So they know money is owed, right? And this statement is completely just dripping with victimhood. It's the same shit they've said 100 times, okay? And then they repeat over and over and over that they're being harassed. Of course, with zero proof along with that harassment. Zero proof along with that harassment. Okay, it's absolutely asinine. The only thing that they've really added to it is the fact that they're adding a digital inventory system, I guess, and the fact that they actually do owe Brian Mansell some money. So why is this lawsuit still going forward?
The consignment issue that's mentioned a few times in this PR statement.
Mm-hmm.
So it continues, when the new owners, Brandon Best and Josh Johnson, took over the Salem location, by the way, who both no longer are associated with Bricks and Minifigs.
Corporate.
The corporate also released a PR statement just a few days ago that said that Brandon Best and Josh Johnson has parted ways with Bricks and Minifigs, and that store location is permanently closed.
Except he still owns the Eugene store location. Smelly Garage Fluids says, am I the only one that thinks BAM took over the store because they thought they could acquire 200K product for free, then try to cover their tracks by selling the inventory? 100%, yeah. So I had Gabe on my show recently, and Gabe owned the Bricks and Minifig store in Florida. And if you look at his termination letter, which I'll bring up here after this, his termination letter basically it's extortion, right? So they claim that he owes like some ungodly amount of money in penalties and fees, which is likely small print in the contractual agreement they had, purposely. And when they went to acquire his store, they claimed that he didn't pay rent or whatever. Okay. And then they're like, well, you violated your contract. You owe us all this money. But if you just give us all of your inventory for free, we'll let you go and not have to pay anything. It's just extortion. And actually, it's very normal in contracts. If you've ever been in a contractual agreement with somebody, there'll always be some kind of penalty fee in there. So they can use those fees as verbally, they'll tell you, don't worry about this. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. It's fine. And then as soon as they see a profitable movement to get you out, they'll claim that they never said those things. You owe the fees, but they'll let you leave for free and just keep all your inventory, right? Smelly Garage Fluids, I completely agree with you, brother.
So they discovered
the Eugene location?
Yes.
Did they get a termination?
No, it's Salem, Oregon.
Okay,
Salem.
yeah, because I think they still own and run the Eugene store. They're just not associated with corporate.
Okay. Yeah. So they discovered in the store only a small number of Star Wars products with an estimated cost value between $2,000 and $5,000. The company's investigation suggests most of the remaining collection may have been sold or removed and stored off-site before Best and Johnson took over the location. What they're saying right here doesn't even make sense. Like, you're saying the collection's only worth X amount of dollars, and we're trying to make this right. And there was only very few Star Wars products there anyways when we investigated. There wasn't a whole lot there.
Thank you, Peachy. A Cobb says, I've had tons of stores reach out about harassment. I've asked gently for proof, none given. The only proof that we have of anything is that random fight. If you remember the video and that CoffeeZilla put out like a week before his actual video, was this guy just goes in there and starts tripping balls, and then like a customer attacks him and then gets his ass kicked, which was kind of sad, to be fair.
But we know that that's not true. Like, that's been proven otherwise. So here we
on video.
And this
Right.
is kind of contradicting that they knew about it, because they appraised it to around 95 to 100,000, and then they're saying, but in the store, this was the only thing that was there. So where did you guys find the rest of the sets?
That's what they're saying. It may have been stored off-site. Okay. So they continue. This information appears to be consistent with Brian Mansell's acknowledgement in the joint social media post with the Salem store and on the same April 2025 Collecting Weekly podcast that his sets were moved to an off-site secure location. Though unable to verify ownership and without an obligation to do so. Guys, can you believe they said that? Though unable.
That's so crazy, man. That is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. Without obligation to do so, and out of the goodness of our hearts, we're going to do this thing. No one on the planet thinks that A, you have no obligation to do so, and B, you have a good heart at this point.
Able to verify ownership and without an obligation to do so. The company has offered the remaining Star Wars sets to the family as a courtesy. The company has made this offer on multiple occasions since December 2024, including in recent weeks.
Yeah, I mean, courtesy. As a courtesy, we're going to give you your shit back. What? Really?
Use courtesy as a place for lazy. They're being lazy. Just give them the money and then go talk to Crystal and do an investigation in-house.
So what would be better in the public statement here is, what exactly are you offering Brian Mansell? Don't say that you're offering him the remaining Star Wars sets that you guys have. What sets? What is their value? How much are they worth? That's if it was worth it, Brian Mansell would probably have accepted it by now.
Yeah, this is the same thing they've said before. It's all just complete word salad bullshit. It's the exact same thing. You can just have some Legos. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I would think.
It's like, I gave you the Cloud City set that's worth 10 grand, but I can't find it. But here's, the Mandalorian Starship that's worth $100.
Yeah, that don't fly.
Yeah, and also, Josh Johnson told them that he would give the Legos back. He was like, I swear to God, I'll give them back. All this and that. If you do this, do that, make this apology. Jump through these hoops. I promise I'll give them back. Right. They do everything he asked them to do. Then they go to get the Legos, and he doesn't give them back. He keeps putting it off.
Yeah,
so that's also yeah, exactly. So that's a
Sensor Beam. You best turn your autism off right now. Okay, better turn the autism off right now. We don't allow autism in the chat. That's why I don't like Billy. Wouldn't franchises be able to file class action lawsuits to free themselves from their extortion contracts? Seems like bands selling franchises like their timeshares more than they're selling Legos. Man, I don't know. How dare you? How dare you, Sensor Beam? Oh my gosh. Hey, man. I calls them as them, sees them, Sensor Beams. Let's do it. I do it. Shout out to the goal at the top of the chat. Jadine with an orange boy is the first of the Gold Boy Golden Shower goal at the top of the chat. 19 away from the Golden Shower. We're bringing the Golden Shower back.
Proven lie there as well.
All right. Continuing on here. The company has also repeated its good faith offer to make the Mansell family whole monetarily for anything fairly demonstrated to be unaccounted for, including amounts that may be owed to him without his knowledge. The company is committed to give him every Star Wars Lego item remaining from the Salem store, whether identified as his or not. So we're going to give you everything in that store that no longer exists, by the way. So where is the inventory of that store? Where do they move that? How do you even really know that you're getting everything? What does that include? And again, what is its value? That looks good in a public relations statement, but it really doesn't mean all that much. They were saying there was between $2,000 and $5,000 worth of Star Wars Legos in that store when they took over.
And when was this offered? Because we know the very next day they were open for business selling product.
Right. So how much? Yeah. If there was between $2,000 and $5,000 worth of Lego Star Wars in that store, is that what you're offering him? You're offering him a max of $5,000. Well, I guess that's why Brian Mansell hasn't accepted your offer yet.
Yeah.
So I guess we can continue here.
Well, that's what they're doing. They're like, oh, we totally offered. We totally offered something really totally fine. Right? That's what they're doing. They're like, oh, we totally offered something. It's totally fine. Yeah. It's like offering somebody, saying you don't have change for 100, and then you change out their 100 and you give them a 5 and say, sorry, I don't have a 90. I don't have 90, brother. Sorry. So you just leave. It's like, wait, what? What? What's up, Art? How you doing, brother?
In an apparent statement to Kaiser, Oregon police, Brian Mansell is believed to have confirmed he received part of the collection back from Law Gorman in January 2025. This included hundreds of items being returned, including high-value items like the Star Wars Cloud City sets. We understand why this story, this is again them, has stirred so much emotion, and we don't take that lightly, said Bricks and Minifig CEO Emin.
Oh, yeah, sure. We don't take that lightly. Okay. All right. Well, apparently you've been abusing the Mansells for 3 years. Now you're suing everybody. People have been arrested. We don't take this lightly, though. It's totally fine.
Myth. We also want to reinforce this is an isolated, unfortunate incident related to a single franchisee who did not obtain an approval
you bastard,
for any consignment arrangement. It does not undermine the integrity of our more than 300 other independent and unrelated franchises. Our goal has never changed. Help make this family whole, enhance operational processes, and build a company our franchisees and customers can be proud of for years to come.
And stab in the back.
I mean, what do y'all think? We also want to reinforce this is an isolated, unfortunate incident related to a single franchisee. Hello. Is this not just another example of corporate putting the blame back on the franchise?
Yep, 100%. And the guy sitting right here, Gabe, Last Relic, had a hostile takeover of his store, and they robbed him, which we'll bring up here shortly.
And you know, that back and forth ping pong match, the franchise blames corporate blames the franchise. You know, that's what they're doing right here as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Last Relic, I mean, we've gotten his story before. And how many other people who have owned franchises and have dealt with corporate have come out because of this whole thing?
Yeah, and I get it. Maybe the consignment is the isolated incident, but then again, you took it over. You said that it was a business thing.
Yeah, and they knew about it. They knew about it that night when they kicked Crystal out of the store.
The second that they took over Crystal's store, and she's on camera telling Brandon Best about the consignment agreement, the second she left that store, this is now Bam's problem. This is Eamon's problem. This is Matt's problem. This is Brandon Best and Josh's problem. So you no longer can shift the blame 3 years later to somebody else. Okay? The second she left that store, it is now a Bricks and Minifigs problem. So when shit started to blow up, you should have fixed it immediately. And they didn't. Tag says, I want to see an FBI investigation of the business. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? With how poorly that they have zero knowledge of anything that's happening internally. God, that'd be insane. And of course, when the FBI did their interviews with everybody involved, Eamon's gonna be like, well, I had no idea any of this stuff was happening. I had no idea that there was a slave ring coming out of our back rooms of our stores.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fact. So 2 questions. One, what does it exactly mean make the Mansell family whole? Like, again,
well,
that sounds great.
At this point, it's like, well, you got to, from all the emotional damage that they have been going through, the $1.3 million lawsuit, the Legos back, to make them whole, it's much more than $200,000 at this point.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
That's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Pain, suffering, everything going on. It's
emotional distress. Someone do something. Ernie, what's up, buddy? Says this is why when there's a takeover, the first thing you do is a full inventory and EOD on the POS system, freeze, frame the financials, and balance everything out. Yeah, they don't do anything like that, man. When we closed down stores at GameStop, bro, we went hard. We did a full inventory of the entire store right before closing it out, boxed everything up, shipped it out, moved every single pre-order, every name over to the nearest store, which took hours. I remember being on the computer for like 8 hours one day, just moving all these reserves and printing out the receipts for them so I could move them to a different store personally. I've done this personally myself. I've closed GameStop stores before. And we were vigorous, I tell you. You knew almost every dollar. You know what I'm saying? Whisker Throttle. What's up, baby?
Crazy.
Yeah, because he went to them in what did it say, 2023?
Yes, that's when it all started.
Yeah, and here we are going into July of 2026.
Jesus.
Yep.
You know, he was probably looking at, maybe having this whole thing sold and done with, taking all this to them in the beginning, probably in like 6 months, maybe.
So you've been committed to making them whole since 2023.
And
I mean, guys, like you hadn't been too committed to make them whole, or you would have made them whole, whatever that means. The other thing, spoiler alert, at the end of this public relations statement that you guys are getting here, you're going to see a small list of improvements that BAM is trying to make internally. So if BAM is saying that this is an isolated incident, an unfortunate isolated incident, why are they announcing company-wide reforms? That's kind of funny to me.
Yeah. Well, if you remember,
there shouldn't be anything to fix if it was an isolated incident. right? Ernie says you need to know because when you take over, you accept the assets and liabilities. Exactly. Okay. If we closed the store at GameStop and then there was some big crazy issue, GameStop's not going to release a statement saying, "Oh, it was actually the old store manager's fault, so sorry." You know what I'm saying? It's insane. It's absolutely insane. What's up, brother? Echo Base Network says, "We are copyright striking you. How dare you?" And does my face really look like that? Yes. It's embarrassing, Coach. It's embarrassing. How you doing, brother? You put out good shit. I gotta freaking react to it. This is your fault. It's not mine. It's not mine. All right. Oh my gosh, is that Jadine with an orange boy?
Doobie doobie doo, doobie doobie doo, doobie doobie doo, doobie doobie doo, doobie doobie doo.
Can you believe it? The BAM CEO mustache looks like fupa hair. Oh, gross, disgusting. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Jadine. It's the second of the golden shower goal at the top of the screen. 2 out of 20. Jadine is both of them. Oh my God, I love you. Look at this beautiful person here. I appreciate that. Gosh, I really appreciate that, Jadine. Thank you so much. God, that's wild. Another orange boy in the gullet down the hatch. Orange boys are taking off. Thank you, Jadine. I love you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Jadine, the top dog of the whole week and of the day. Thank you, Jadine. Everybody give Jadine some love. Let me go like that. There you go. I liked your super chat. I don't know what it does, but I liked it, boys. Thank you. All right. Appreciate you, Jadine. Says they're announcing company-wide reforms to play stupid again and try to dodge everyone calling them the Lego Gallows. Oh, no, not to the Lego Gallows. Hidden Insight says they'll fix things by charging franchise owners to take a course. Yeah, you ain't lying. And then they'll take over their store. That's the scariest thing, right? The scariest thing about being a franchise owner at Bricks and Minifigs is if your store starts doing well, you have to suddenly worry about getting pushed out. It's terrifying.
I don't know if you guys got to watch my interview with my employee when he was a corporate employee, and when he came on, all the training was like 1 10-minute video, and that's it.
I believe
That's the most
Plus a gold boy, Billy.
amount of training that they received.
I believe it.
Wow.
Here we go, Relic. This is the part for you. Unauthorized consignment arrangement. So it reads, the apparent underlying consignment arrangement for Lego products is not part of the company's business model or authorized by the franchise agreements or operations manual. So-called consignment services are expressly limited and only allowed for service or experience-based partnerships, such as venue space usage fees.
This part is literally word salad, by the way.
Revenue share or commission on service fees, referral for or facilitation fees for bookings made through a store, or bundling as add-ons to Bricks and Minifigs hosted parties and events. Consignment services do not include and have never been extended to acquiring Lego products, as Bricks and Minifigs operate
Look at Gabe's face. Look at Gabe's face.
strictly on a buy, sell, and trade model. Bricks and Minifigs Corporate does not authorize franchisees to enter third-party consignment arrangements for Lego products. To that end, Bricks and Minifigs did not authorize or sign any consignment arrangement respecting the Salem store's alleged arrangement with Brian Mansell. Now,
Again, nothing to do with anything, because once they took over the assets, like my boy said, they have the liability now. They are responsible.
my friend, Relic, how do you respond to that? What do you have in writing on your contract that you signed as a Bricks and Minifigs store owner yourself? I think you told me that paragraph 1 is interesting.
It's the very first paragraph, and down towards the end of the paragraph, it is additionally, franchisee may also offer consignment services.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Paragraph 1.
how do you explain that?
And like there's in business, there's differences, right? You know, you got your operations manual, which it does state in the operations manual, we don't do consignment. But then the model is also trade. So trade and consignment, and it's talking about, like, if you go back to the paragraph, it's talking about like events or approved. If you can we see it again real quick, just so I could highlight it? So right where it says allowed for service or experience-based partnership, and then it goes on to the differences. Like, that's why it's important for us to see what agreement Crystal and Brian had that would fall under one of these things. But then again, it doesn't matter because Brandon never disputed it. We have it on camera that their lackey from Bricks and Minifigs said it's a business thing, and they will take that on. Meaning, Bricks and Minifigs will also take that on, no matter if it was approved or not. Great, you don't do it here forward, but you got to fix this, and they're not doing anything to fix it.
Exactly. All right. And And there's even more consignment issue. We'll get back to that in a second. But great insight there, Relic. I mean, they just said, just so we're clear, Bricks and Minifigs Corporate, their PR statement to everybody in the world today said, we have never allowed consignments.
And it's funny because I guess they think their previous franchise owners are not just going to pull up their own contracts and show it saying that. Strong Opinions with a gold boy. There it is. Number 3 out of 20. Shit. There we go. Strong Opinion says Bricks and Minifigs Corporate is definitely be dubious. Thank you. So let's give it to him.
Doo.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Shout out to my boy coming in strong with the gold boy. The third gold boy marching towards the golden shower goal. Thank you, Strong Opinions. I love you, buddy, and I appreciate you for always supporting your boy. By the way, guys, I'm a little sniffly, so get ready for that if you haven't already. PDH is sick as shit, which means, guess what? It's coming for me next. I'm next. Shout out to you, Strong Opinions. I love you. I'm going to heart your comment. I'm hearting it, brother. You've been hearted. You've been hearted.
Not buying Lego collections from people, not buying, but not acquiring Lego collections from people and selling them on their behalf. Consignment is brokering a deal. You're selling somebody else's stuff and you take a percentage of it. They're saying that they have never allowed that. And later in this PR, they're going to refer to that as an unauthorized side deal. That's not what a side deal is. That's stupid on their part too. We'll get to that in a second.
And this is their MO because they may have not signed anything or have any legal documentation of the consignment agreement. But what did they say word to mouth to Crystal? What did they say to Brian Mansell? Because that's what happened to me. Where like, oh yeah, you're okay to do this, and then they use it against you in the termination.
Later on.
Exactly. And like you said, like they got a part of it that says that there is no consignments, and then in paragraph 1 it says that they do consignments. So it's like they could go either way. That's no different than corporate blaming the franchisee and the franchisee blaming corporate. They just bounce you back and forth. You know, it's not clear what you can do. So
it's complete bullshit. It's all just stacked up so they can be predatory, like In the Sky says. They're getting people to invest capital, take over their store, hit with fines, sue them if you want it back, but no one ever sues. Yeah, 100%. 100%, man. That's exactly what's going on here. What's up, brotherly bro? How you doing, brother? Says Ernest says, best comparison I've heard was imagine dropping your car to a mechanic, go back the next day, and a new guy's there saying he bought the place. It's his car now because he didn't sign anything with you. Exactly. 100%, dude. To the T. To the damn T.
Minifigs believes as of November 2024, Law Gorman had stopped making payments on the purchase of the location, had not paid royalties for multiple months, and owed tens of thousands of dollars in other unpaid expenses. At that time, her announced departure, she owed substantial monies to Bricks and Minifigs, which triggered the company's repossession pursuant to its security interest in any on-site inventory.
That's also a lie. Like, we know that Crystal contacted them first, talking about she had an opportunity overseas. She just wanted to see what it would be like if she was to sell it before the franchise agreement ended or when the franchise agreement was over.
Right.
How can they sell it? Like, again, she pursued them. They didn't pursue her.
You know, I've read a lot of statements online that I do think was interesting. People are saying, you know, if Brian Mansell had never sold that collection to that store in Oregon, what would have happened to that store in Oregon? Would it have been seized by Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson? Speculation.
No, because Brandon Best and Josh Johnson come in specifically when there's a high amount of money to be made. That is the pattern here. All right. There's multiple franchise our previous franchise owners that were forced out of their stores that they had a contract with because they had large influx of inventory.
Is no.
It wouldn't be. Also, Crystal, like they're gonna make. I don't know if they've made statements or we already read them. It's just like my brain is going a million miles an hour. But Crystal also talked about that location before she got that collection of saying like, "Hey, we've had theft, we have issues. It's very open window.
Yeah,
people have come by, so like we need extra security. All that stuff that she mentioned to them. Maybe possibly having a conversation on moving that location to somewhere else.
Right.
But yeah, so we'll see in the article. Sorry, like
that's good. No, it's good.
Nothing in disguise. If Ben didn't uncover all this or start this whole deal, nothing would have ever happened. Nothing. 19 minutes left on the Gold Boy Golden Shower goal at the top of the screen. 17 away. Shout out to Jadine and Strong Opinions. The Golden Shower.
Operational reforms to strengthen the company and franchisees. So look, this was a singular incident, nothing big, but here's what we're doing to improve as a company, and this is for the goodwill of our fans. We want you guys to know that you can trust us pretty much. Bricks and Minifigs believes accountability means more than words, so it continues to strengthen its operation through rigorous record keeping and inventory management. The company mandates real-time digital tracking from the moment a collection enters the store, creating a permanent record to protect customers and franchisees. I wonder when they started that. Like, there's no doubt that you did that, Relic. I'm sure you had a much better system of keeping up with things as it 100%. Went in your store and out of your store. But the next one, absolute transparency in the buy, sell, and trade process. Has there been? We just saw a video of a young man's channel had a video removed due to a privacy complaint because he went into 4 Bricks and Minifigs and they offered him about 10% what his collection was valued as. So it doesn't look very good for business.
Yeah, they're not even remotely they're not interested in transparency. If they were, they wouldn't be striking channels. They wouldn't be striking videos. They wouldn't be suing people, and they wouldn't be getting restraining orders on people. It's pretty obvious that they do not believe in transparency, not even remotely.
Yeah, one of the guys tried getting one of his minifigs.
Yeah, didn't even give him the most expensive one back. That's craziness. Yeah. They're definitely taking a pounding, and in the court of public opinion, like we always talk about here. Every transaction, especially large-scale trades, requires standardized corporate-approved disclosure forms. Off-the-book side deals and local consignment arrangements remain strictly prohibited. I mean, really?
Okay.
Is that the case now? Because obviously it wasn't when Relic was store owner or when Crystal.
Well, the fact that it says remain, they're saying that's the way it's been. That's not moving forward. That's moving forward and in the rearview mirror behind us. They're saying those have always been strictly prohibited, and it's not true. Mandatory professional behavior and de-escalation training, comprehensive training for corporate staff, franchise owners, and their teams covers professional boundaries, dispute handling, and proper.
And like I said, the CEO should probably do that training himself. So would the COO, because they went on a media tour completely destroying everything. Not only that, destroying any future lawsuit that they have. Right, as soon as that shit enters a courtroom, it's over. Right, should have never done that. They apparently had no idea how to de-escalate because all they did was cause a Streisand effect bigger than you can possibly imagine.
Corporate protocols.
It must be one of those 10-minute videos.
All this is telling me for the franchisees to buckle up because they're going to send you more than 100 more pages of a franchise agreement so they could screw you over even more in the future. That's all this is telling me.
These operational enhancements benefit all involved and will help to avoid potential further misunderstandings. For the complete timeline of events regarding the Mansell dispute, visit the Bricks and Minifigs blog. About Bricks and Minifigs, we don't have to read that, but here's some frequently asked questions that we do want to look at. Frequently asked questions based on information currently believed to be accurate per Bricks and Minifigs ongoing investigation. Does the Bricks and Minifigs business model include the type of third-party consignment in the Mansell family dispute? No. This is from corporate. Since the company was founded in 2009, the model has always been to buy, sell, and trade Lego products. A third-party consignment has never been part of that model. We could stop right there. They're not telling the truth, are they, Relic?
No.
In Relic's original contract, it says they can do consignment. The normal thing to do when business changes hands ownership is to have an inventory accounting firm come in, document the inventory, and verify the accounting bookkeeping. Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's exactly what I said. When we closed down GameStop stores, we did an inventory like the day of. And then we started shipping everything out. First rule dealing with court, whether suing or be sued, shut the fuck up. Yep, 100%. 100%.
Cut and dry.
And I've always said this, like, if there's a deal that's good enough, obviously, if you're a proper business person and have a franchise, you contact the owners and then they can give you approval because it's one of those deals that's like, hey, this is a really good deal. It's going to hype up the store, hype up the brand, all that stuff. Right. So it might be different than what it says on your contract, but if they approve it, they approve it, you know? And the like the whole since 2009 consignment, like, where's the records that they've never done any consignment deals even before Matt and Ammon McNabb came on? Like,
well, what we need is more. We need more former store owners coming out saying that's not true. We did consignments as well. You know, you might not have done consignments in yours, but you saw it right there in paragraph 1. You if you wanted to do a consignment, you could have.
Yeah, so like I could, and it's the way, like, you can manipulate things. Like, let's say I wanted to do things differently than what Bricks and Minifigs is telling me. Like, all I have to do is follow the word of the letter and be like, this is how I'm going to get over to do a consignment agreement that they are approving.
Right.
So, like, they didn't call, you know, later on be like, hey, these numbers, like, I see the royalty fees. I see that, like, you're selling these products and then a percentage is going somewhere else and not to us. Like, what is that? They probably knew about the consignment way beforehand, before they terminated the contract.
Right.
There's no way that like a statement that says Bricks and Minifigs $200,000 Lego collection, and then it makes it to the social media, the corporate is not going to know about that.
Right. I'm with you. So let's look at the rest of these questions real quick. Was Bricks and Minifigs corporate a party to the consignment agreement at the Salem store? No. Corporate did not sign, approve, or authorize the arrangement. We believe former owner Crystal Law Gorman entered into it as a personal local arrangement and never introduced corporate or the incoming franchisee to the family. Such side deals are expressly prohibited under the company's franchise agreement. If she's
Like,
if
fine, it's
that is an
prohibited, but you took
official
it.
consignment, if she accepted it, she's tracking it, not tracking it very well, perhaps, but I don't know all those details. But if she's doing all that, that's not what a side deal is. A side deal is somebody brings a Lego set into your store and you buy it as a store employee out of cash in your own pocket.
That's something my old store manager Egg used to do all the time. He robbed the hell out of people, man.
Resale out of the store. That's a side deal.
Yeah,
That-
you don't even report the numbers of that.
Exactly.
That's a side deal, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
off the books. That's a side deal. You don't even know what you're talking about right here, whoever wrote this for corporate. What is the realistic value of the Mansell collection? Again, this is their point of view. Documentation discovered the to-date estimates. The realistic high-end value of approximately $95,000 to $100,000. This amount appears to be consistent with what Brian Mansell stated publicly on an April 2025 Collecting Weekly podcast and with the roughly $80,000 in products or cash he sought when he visited the store in November 2024.
Well, that's not going to happen mixing.
We got to find out more about that. And it would be good to hear from Brian Mansell sometime in the near future. Like I think that there's more to the story there. Where did the $200,000 figure come from? Bricks and Minifigs believes the $200,000 figure was never a confirmed or appraised value. It was a promotional amount used to generate excitement for a public display event held in November 2023, which Ed Mansell attended. What is the company's resolution to offer Brian Mansell today? Bricks and Minifigs representatives have expressed its interest that he be made whole monetarily for anything fairly demonstrated to be unaccounted for. The company is also willing.
The previous statement where it said like Bricks and Minifigs believes the $200,000 figure. So you're confirming that it was a consignment service. Like, fine, dispute what happens after that, but you're saying that they did it properly. They did a consignment service.
I have to say again, Bricks and Minifigs says he should be made monetarily whole for anything fairly demonstrated to be unaccounted for. Yeah, the issue is Bricks and Minifigs gets to determine what is fairly demonstrated or not. That's the biggest issue
For an event.
Yeah, they are. And it says the company is also willing to give him every Star Wars Lego item remaining from the Salem store, whether identified as his or not. So again,
Which
if we're
doesn't
talk-
exist, which doesn't even have any inventory for that store anymore.
So let's say the collection was worth $100,000, just 100. I think it was probably, until I know more, if the minifigs weren't accounted for in the $100,000 estimation, then it's going to be significantly higher than that. 1,200 minifigs is a lot of money, guys. That's gold. That's gold in your hands. Okay, so let's just say it's worth $100,000. Brian Mansell has only received $14,000. So you're offering him the Legos remaining in that store. What's the total value there? See, there's a discrepancy there. There's a problem there.
And also, it goes against what they said earlier, where they said we believe in absolute transparency.
If it was worth what he's actually missing, he probably would have accepted that by now. But it's not. It's significantly lower. So they're trying to come across like they're trying to make him whole and do him a favor, but you're not.
Yeah, and fun fact, like you don't know how much inventory one store has. When I bought the corporate location, it only had $30,000 worth of inventory. That's it.
Wow.
So it's not going to be anywhere near, like you don't know how close it's going to be to the amount that Brian needs that is owed to him.
So here's where it gets into the reckless bin of things. Why did the Salem store close? It closed temporarily because staff, including local teenagers, face safety hazards, targeted in-person stalking, and explicit threats. Believed to be been driven by inaccurate reporting and or social media communications and video.
I do have to say their choice of words here by saying teenagers is to make it more inflammatory, to make it more aggressive and hold more weight, right?
Videos. It was not closed due to losing any lawsuits related to this matter, despite claims otherwise. It has since been permanently closed with a formal separation and resignation by Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson. What kinds of harassment have Bricks and Minifig stores and employees experienced? Many of the company's network of more than 300 locations have faced a campaign of negativity and social media commentary. I wonder why. And various forms of harassment, unauthorized filming, including teenage employees being confronted and recorded at their first jobs, private families contacted at their homes, physical altercations, burglaries at stores, negative reviews, inappropriate comments and messages, and communities disrupted by threats. oh my gosh, Nick, it's almost like we did nothing wrong. How dare anybody criticize any of our business practices or anything like that?
Probably shouldn't have put any of this in this statement.
And like half of that just comes with the territory.
Exactly.
Is that harassment? A lot of the things that they're saying here isn't even really harassment to me. It's, hey, this company has some shady business practices.
Yeah.
What they're doing is wrong.
Called them out.
Can you not critique them? Can you not criticize a company?
Yeah, getting called out isn't harassment.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a main point right there. And so what is the
until otherwise they prove actual harassment? I mean, no one's going to really believe it. And even if they did, I mean, again, the harassment was any harassment that could have happened was caused by the Streisand effect of the CEO and the COO and Josh Brennan and all these things wilding out.
What is the position on this conduct? Bricks and Minifigs supports every person's right to free speech and fair questions, but unlawful conduct such as harassment, stalking, threats is neither advocacy nor consumer protection. The company stores are private, small businesses with the right to conduct businesses safely and to protect their premises and employees. And that is the end of the public relations statement right there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how they said that they support free speech when they just put a gag order on Reckless Ben, Brian Mansell, Victor, all those
they
guys.
support
their free speech.
Exactly.
Yeah, their own free speech.
They support their free speech with their little
100%.
PR statements that they just made,
100%.
casting all the blame on the former franchisee, trying to save face, saying they're trying to make the Mansell family whole. We're even going to offer you all the Star Wars in there, and flat out lying about consignments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Using manipulative language to lie and mislead. And the thing is like, I don't think that this PR statement, guys, is going to have any type of positive impact for BAM moving forward. This doesn't help them.
No.
In fact, I think this kind of makes it worse. What do you guys think?
100%.
Well, like I'm willing to bet, as big as the story is, it wouldn't have been as big as it is today if they kept their mouth shut and didn't do any live streams.
Make him whole
Yeah.
a week after this thing started.
Yep.
Yeah.
They should have been.
We're all saying the exact same thing. It seems so obvious, right? Coach, Sean, Nick, Gabe, anybody commenting on this has said the exact same thing. A week after this blew up, they could have made them whole and saved face. And they just made it worse every step of the way.
Committed to righting the wrong from the get-go. Instead, you messed around. You messed around, and the wrong dude got involved. And now everybody in the world knows about your shady business, and things must not be going very well for you to release a PR statement like this.
Yeah, and they never admitted that they hurt Brian Mansell or that they feel sorry with what he's going through. Like, no
apology, no, we're sorry. For any misunderstanding, they could have taken the high road on some things, and they didn't. That's a great point, Relic. That's a great point.
Yeah, this is another great moment in FAFO.
100%. I also have, that was Echo Base Network. Great people, good ass people. I'll have a link to the video in the description as well after post. I also have Gabe's termination letter. So Gabe's termination letter from Bricks and Minifigs, he sent it directly to me. So we're going to pull that up as well. And it is just insanity. It's absolute insanity. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. They act like they're doing Brian a favor by giving him any leftover scraps. Well, that's what they did. They said we have no obligation to do so. We have no obligation to fix this in any way, shape, or form. It's like, well, it depends on how you define obligation, right? You know what I'm saying? Technically, you ain't got to do nothing. But that kind of seems like that's been your strategy already, is actually do worse than that. Not just nothing, do literally worse. Go on a media tour and ruin your entire image. You know? Oh, no doubt in this, guys. No doubt. No doubt. It's the absolute hubris. Absolute hubris. Hubris. I tell you. Shout out to Jadine for the 2 orange boys. Strong opinions for the 1 gold boy. I love you, buddy. I appreciate you. 4 minutes left on the gold shower goal and super chats. Thank you guys for all your support tonight. You goated. I love you. I appreciate you. Up against the 638 negative snake. It's too high. I can't even freaking quote it anymore. Thank you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Hot diggity damn. And don't forget to like the show. We're going to pull up Gabe's termination letter, and you guys are going to shit your pants. So get prepared to change your pants. Change them draws soon, because this shit's wild. And it just basically shows exactly the tactic for the hostile takeover. Complete tactic for the hostile takeover. So what Bricks and Minifigs does is they go in, if a store has a lot of inventory and they're looking at a lot of possible profit, they'll go in, claim that the franchise owner violated the contract, and then steal their store from them and threaten them with like a bunch of random fees that's in the contract. That's what they do. 100%. Yes, Power Whack It. So Gabe is his name's Last Relic on YouTube. He was a previous franchise owner for Bricks and Minifigs that they hostile took over his store. So he sent me his termination like contract letter or whatever. So I have that whole thing here, and we're gonna bring it up for y'all's personal enjoyment. Your personal enjoyment. Your enjoyment. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm gonna post a B in the chat. That's not a B. It's a B. A B in the chat. Welcome to the live stream if you're just now joining, and I appreciate you guys for hanging out. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. And also, don't forget, I'll be live on July 4th. I'm going to have a July 4th pool party at my house. There's going to be it's going to be bikinis, American flags, steaks, White Claws. It's going to be great, man. I'm excited. Very, very excited for that. So don't forget, we're going to have that going on as well. It's going to be great, boys. It's going to be great. I'm excited, boys. I'm excited. I also going to give a shout out to Jeff on the road for the last show. He made it so fun with his trivia. I had such a good time. He's been supporting the hell out of me for a long time. And also, of course, William Baker. All the boys, I really appreciate everything you guys do for me. I love you. I appreciate you guys. Everybody in chat, you're goated as hell. I want to see some emoji raids in the chat. I don't care what they are. I don't care. I just want to see them spammed, boys. Spam them with emojis hard, and fast, and raw, and wriggling. Whew. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Shout out. Hey, Jeff. You're still here. What's up, man? How you doing, buddy? Love you, man. Appreciate you. America. 250th anniversary of America. I'm excited, man. I'm going to have a lot of fun on Saturday. So I hope you guys choose to hang out with me, party a little bit, celebrate the glorious country. The glorious country. 3 likes until 200, boys. 3 whole ass likes. Get on it, diggity doggone it. It's going to be great. It's going to be great, boys. Went out and took some moon pics. Hell yeah, brother. I'll bring one piece. One piece? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh my God. What do you mean? America, home of the freezies and the AC. Oh my gosh, dude. What's up, Zip Zap Zoop? Completely unrelated. I'm going to pull up the termination letter here in a second. The termination letter from the termination letter from that Gabe got from being a previous Bricks and Minifigs store owner. So we're going to bring that up in a second. But I don't know what the hell's going on in Europe, but for some reason, there's this weird cultural thing I had no idea about with air conditioning in Europe. Like if you bring up air conditioning in Europe about European, they get so pissed off. I'm like, they're like, it's so hot. We have 150,000 deaths per year. And I'm like, why not get a AC window unit? And they just want you dead when you say that. I'm like, I'm confused. They're like, that's not the point. I'm like, what? Shit. Well, that seems kind of like the point. And there was somebody that was like talking about how we have to cool the globe instead. And I'm like, okay, look, why not just prepare? Why not both? I don't understand. It's the weirdest shit in the world, man. I had one guy that told me that when the apocalypse comes, they will be okay because they're used to heat or something. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm so confused. Oh my gosh. It's so weird. Yeah, 3412. I don't get it. I have AC in my house. It's great. Don't understand. But they're like, no, that's not the point. We have beautiful architecture. And I'm like, okay, well, I have AC. I don't know what you want me to do about it. Yeah, I'll show you the post that I posted and pissed everybody off with. It's pretty dumb, to be honest. This is all I posted, okay? Was this right here. I live in Europe. I got air conditioning. Normal people do. Lefty weirdos you're talking about. I don't know what's going on. So apparently, a lot of people were claiming it's illegal, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not true. It's like there's local ordinances depending on where you live in certain cities in Europe, like specifically in Spain, in Germany, Spain, and other places. I don't remember, but yeah, this is all I said. I said people in Europe hysterically crashing out on X because it's 90 degrees there. I say go grab an AC window unit for $100, and they just look at you like this. It's weird, you know? It's very, very strange. So, whatever, man. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Pyrax says, my parents bought an AC, bring me back from the hospital. I was made for AC. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. That's all I'm talking about. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, brother. And this shit went, there's a lot of likes on it. People liked it. That was nice of them. You know? That was nice of them. And there's people just so mad. They're just so mad. This guy said Americans are fat. And I'm like, well, I mean, I kind of agree with that. So this guy right here, this is the guy I was talking about. He says, by cooling your home with AC, you're only transferring the heat outside. The only solution is to make the cities more green to insulate buildings so they do not accumulate so much energy and reduce CO2. AC, temporary solutions to a larger issue that snowballs from a century. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I guess stop complaining, I guess. I don't know. What do you want me to do about it? I think a lot of people have this weird holier than thou attitude where they think they have to single-handedly save the world. And I'm like, no, you can do that. I said, you go save the world. I'm going to freeze my ass off in my house. Enjoy. It's a hell of a ratio. I didn't even mean to do that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, while you're saving the world, I'm going to be chilling in my house. Okay. We must save the world. We do what we do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Oh. And then band data centers. You'd think so. You'd think so, man. Nah, dude, I'm cool with it. You know? Europeans not having AC makes me want to warm the globe. Come on, Dan. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Have some heart. I love after decades of hearing Americans are fat, the world is coming here and losing their minds over how good our food tastes. It is delicious. Yes. Yes. They've been brainwashed. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's weirdly become cultural. It's, oh, damn, look at all these. What the hell y'all doing? Chai T says most Europeans die annually to heat-related complications in America do with poo-poos, and yet the same shame is happening. They shame us for having them. Ice drinks and AC. Yeah, that's actually a very interesting stat. So, like, per capita, their heat-related deaths are, I think, 50 times higher or 25 times higher than gun deaths in America. It's pretty crazy shit. Right? It's crazy shit. Thank you, Chai T. Sly Rye. What's up, brother? Thank you, dude. Sly Rye coming in strong with a green boil with Chai T. Appreciate you. We're almost a fifth of the way to Naked Snake already. Oh, my God. Says AC window units don't exist over there, and their windows are different, and the houses are designed to retain heat. And 73 other excuses. Yeah. No, thank you. You can have it. I'll just have AC. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. And if it's such a big issue, get you an AC unit. And if you're going to say no because of whatever reason, okay, well, then stop having a panic attack on X. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to change? You know what I'm saying? Like, I demand we change something. What are you going to do? Because even if, let's say, theoretically, we outlaw all AC, all cars, all volcanoes, all cows, and everything across the globe, when does this return to normal? How long? How many deaths now do we have related to these things we're taking away? Millions? You know what I'm saying? And then also people that agree that the AC shouldn't be a thing, leading to the over 100,000 deaths from heat-related issues in Europe yearly. Sounds like they're pro-death. I don't know. And I'm not speaking politically at all. I'm just saying the people, AC, pro or anti-AC. You would think lesser logic. You would think. Sly Rye again, dude. Just waiting for Europeans to discover AC and dryers. What's going on? And if we're talking about British, specifically seasoning. Come on, brothers. All that white people don't season their food stuff, that's like Britain, brother. Come on, Sly Rye. What's up, Dr. Drizzle Hizzle? Yeah, so I got some more. We're going to bring up Gabe, previous franchise owner's termination letter from Bricks and Minifigs. It is wild. Wild. One lock from 200, a fifth of the way to Naked Snake. Don't forget, boys. A pink and a red from that rainbow night. We're moving on up to the east side. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, boys. English food looks like it has. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with that. Well, I'd like cool windows that open and easier to clean, but we'll be happy with some storm windows and central and extra portable SE Plus fans move the air. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. I'm all about it. I'll gladly pay. Gladly. My AC, one of my AC units went out like last year. So I have two like large outdoor units for central heating, cooling. And one of them went out, and that day I called somebody to come repair that bitch. It's like $300. They fixed it, up and running, cold. My happy ass ain't gonna sit there and die. Okay, I ain't doing it. I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Live underground, stellar eclipse. That's the way. This is the way. Live underground. Protect yourself. That's what you do. All right, let's pull up this letter. We're pulling it up live. Damn it! Is it a PDF? What is this? It is. I think I can pull it up anyway, though. Yeah, it looks like I can. It's fine. Totally looks fine to me. It is redacted too, so we'll have that ready to go. We'll have it ready to go, boys. It's coming fast, strong. You know, the American AC units do not require windows. No, they don't. I don't think they understand. Well, you got to think, Erikias. Here's an issue. And I'm not shitting on anybody that may be like from Europe. Okay. There is this weird thing, and I've always referred to it as Eurobrain, but I don't know if I got that from somebody or I made it up. I probably got it from somebody. I'm not that inventive or innovative. But Eurobrain is where people from Europe assume that every place on the planet is exactly like Europe. So, for example, they think they can drive from like New York City to Florida in like 3 hours. They don't realize it's like a 2-day trip. You know what I'm saying? They think that it's similar to where they can drive through countries in like an hour or two or less, right? And it's funny because I saw somebody, it was like a buddy, it was like a mutual of a friend who planned an American trip, like a USA trip. And they had this trip planned out, and they were going to be in America for like a couple days. And they were going to drive from New York to Florida and then down to LA. They were going to go to LA, and they're going to do this all in like 2 or 3 days. And their friend, the American guy, was like, "You're not going to be able to do this stuff." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You can't just drive to Florida and then drive to LA." And he's like, "Why not?" And it's like, because the US is fucking massive. It is huge, brother. It takes you like 30 hours to get from where I am to get to LA. If I drive straight there right now, it's a long time, brother. But they just assume you can drive from Florida to California in like 4 hours because that's what they do in Europe. In most places in Europe, you just drive up, right? So they don't understand all that. And then they claim the U.S. has no culture. And there's you ever been to Louisiana, brother? You ever been to Bourbon Street? Go to Bourbon Street. Go to L.A. Unfortunately, go to Vegas. Go to fucking Minnesota. Go up to West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Go through the Appalachians. It's like completely different worlds in some of these places. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're like, why don't you have trains? And I'm like, oh, you're more than welcome to get on a train. It takes 3 weeks. Enjoy. You know what I'm saying? But it only takes 4 hours to fly. But that guy wasn't planning on flying. He was planning on driving. You can drive 10 hours in Texas and still be in Texas. Yep. While in the UK, they would have been in 5 separate countries in 10 hours. Yep. That's the issue. And that's the thing. That's why that's what's referred to as Eurobrain. Yeah, Whisker Throttle. Bourbon Street's the best. Take 4 shots. Suddenly your ball's deep with the random chick in the bathroom. It's a wild time, Bourbon Street, brother. And then you find out you sober up and realize it was your homie, your bro. And you're like, oh shit, oops, I didn't even notice. Shouldn't have shaved your ass. They tore up the trains to make bike trails, brother. Bike trails. Yes, dude. Yes. All right, let's pull up this letter. Shout out to all the boys. We're a fifth of the way to Naked Snake and super chats, rants, and all the other stuff. Appreciate you guys so much for all your love. We're up against the 638 Naked Snake in a row. 5 years record, 5 years running. Jadine is the top dog today in super chats. I love you. I love you, and I appreciate you. Pink and a red from that rainbow night on a Monday. Chai tea. Welcome back. I got news for climate alarmists. The climate changes. That's what it's always done since creation. Abolishing CO2 doesn't matter when a volcano erupts. Well, here's now. Look, I will. To be fair, to be completely fair, we live in the most comfortable time that has ever existed in human history. People are sitting there every day in the West, especially in AC, with extremely lenient parents. They do not go hungry. They do not want for anything, right? And they don't have any fulfillment in their own life. And that's why a lot of people jump into activism and saving the world. Like they want to save the world because they don't have any fulfillment in their life, because they've never longed for anything. They've never had any strife. Now, growing up extremely poor causes strife. And just to use myself as an example, and I'm not saying I'm better nor worse, I'm just saying I grew up in pretty extreme poverty. I grew up in a trailer park and rode my bike around the dirt road and like hung out with my other trailer park buddies. We ran from the dog and he bit my ass one time. He bit me right on the ass one time. Had 3 little holes in my ass. And that's how life was. And you don't realize it at the time, but that strife builds a lot of character when you get older, and it allows you to have a very interesting, POV. So my entire goal is to take care of the people I care about, my friends and my family, and better myself in that way, and better myself like in my personal health, fitness, and everything else. But a lot of people out there, their entire meaning to life is to do anything at all they can in activism to try to save the world or push something forward. But unfortunately, we're at a weird point in human history where progressivism isn't exactly very profitable right now, because there's not very many ways we can progress now. The only ways we can actually progress is fiscally, like lowering or removing certain taxes for people, taking that burden away from people, right? Moving it on to something else. But we don't do that. Like the news wants to divide you based on race or sexual orientation, and they have those people fighting tooth and nail, fighting over stuff that makes no sense and doesn't even do anything for anybody. Maybe it'll affect less than 1% of the population, right? And that's where the activism comes in. Daniel Robinson, do you have a license? Do you have a license for that AC? Thank you, brother. I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you're doing well, brother. Shout out to my boy, Mr. Daniel Robertson. Coming in strong. Thank you, buddy. Love you, man. My man's looking jacked as fuck, by the way. All right, let's pull up the termination letter. The termination letter for Gabe at Bricks and Minifigs. And you're going to see a great example. A great example, okay? Of basically just extortion. Right? Basically just extortion. That's what this is. Sly Raw says, Brits wonder why most Americans don't have passports. We don't need them. We're exponentially larger than most of the countries combined. Yep, 100%. Now, to be fair, 55% of Americans have a passport. I think actually more now. But that's neither here nor there, right? Again, it's Eurobrain. They're like, you're uncultured. You've never been to another country. And it's like, yeah, you can drive 37 minutes and be in Spain, you ass. I have to take a 18-hour flight to get to another country, and it costs like $5,000. Not the flight, but the whole trip itself, right? But they don't care. It's always about the W. The weirdest thing is a lot of people online, like Europeans, all they do all day is like see that Americans for some reason, whilst Americans don't even think about them at all. It's a brutal existence. Thank you, Sly Rye. I love you, buddy. Appreciate you, Sly Rye. All right, let's pull up this termination letter. Appreciate you guys in chat. I love you. I like talking to chat, man. Sometimes I get sucked into it. Like Saturday, I got sucked into talking to chat for like an hour and a half. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So this is the termination letter from Bricks and Minifigs and it's a cease and desist apparently, to Gabe, the previous franchise owner in Florida. So it says the law firm of Denton's, Durham, Jones, Pine, by BAM franchises and advised that blank has violated the franchise agreement entered into BAM and blank. So we always talk about the franchise agreement. They specifically will allow you to skirt rent or royalty 1 month. They'll tell you you're totally good. And then when they see your inventory is extremely high and profitable, they'll come over, claim you violated this contract, and then they'll take over your store and basically extort the shiz out of you. It says, by this letter, BAM hereby immediately terminates blank as a franchisee with BAM pursuant to the terms of the franchise agreement. Section 14.a, a franchise agreement states that blank is a material breach of the franchise agreement, which will automatically terminate without notice when breach of lease, loss of right of possession. You are in breach of any of your obligations under your lease or sublease of the accepted location, or you lose the right to possession of the accepted location. So what this is talking about right here is it's talking about the fact that Gabe apparently didn't pay rent, but Gabe had a conversation with the CEO about them paying rent for the month of December, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. So obviously what they did, Matt, the CEO, or sorry, Eamon, the CEO, is they were like, yeah, we'll totally hook you up. And then as soon as he agreed to that, they were going to use that later to stab him in the back. It says failure to make payments. You or any of your affiliates fail to make payments when due, or any amounts due to us, our affiliates, under this agreement, or any other agreement with our affiliates. Repeat breaches. You fell on 2 or more separate occasions within any period of 12 consecutive months, or on 3 occasions during the term of this agreement, to submit when to due reports or other data, information, or supporting records, or to pay when the royalties fee, or other payments due to us or affiliates, or otherwise failure to comply with this agreement. By the way, BAM had told Gabe that he didn't have to pay certain royalties for a certain amount of time. They were apparently working with him. But little did he know that at the time they were logging all that stuff. So later, when his store becomes profitable, they could come in and take the store from him and leave him with nothing, right? And it gets really crazy, by the way. It says Section 14 engages in any activity or conduct that has been material adverse effect on the franchise or the marks of the franchise reputation. It says the firm is advised that you have violated each of the above provisions by failing to make your royalty payments to BAM on multiple occasions in the last 12 months, by breaching your lease, by failing to make rent payments to your landlord. Note, by signing the franchise agreement, you consented to immediate termination upon the occurrence of any breaches specified above. Therefore, you are hereby notified that the franchise agreement is terminated effective immediately. Pursuant to post-termination provisions contained in the franchise agreement, your obligations upon termination are as follow. Cease using names, marks, or any confidential information, as we read one of those right now. Cease operation, the business, and tender franchises proprietary products. Not adopt confusingly similar names or marks, so you can't open another store that's similar to Bricks and Minifigs. Cancel confusing similar names and transfer phone numbers to BAM. Transfer or terminate domain name and website. Return operation manuals and other materials. Sell assets of the franchise to the franchise or to franchisor. Pay monies owed to franchisor, including liquidated damages. So here's where it gets extortion-y, in my opinion. Prior to the termination of this agreement, Mr. Gabe, I'm assuming, owed BAM $12,000 in unpaid royalties and approximately $80,000 in unpaid franchise fees stemming from the purchase of the Wesley Chapel location. Further, upon termination, blank must pay BAM liquidated damages equal to the average monthly royalty fees paid to BAM by the franchise during the 12 months immediately preceding the termination. Multiply by the remaining amount of months in the term of the franchise agreement, liquidating damages due from blank, therefore total approximate damages to $71,000 roughly. Now here's the issue with this, is all of these fees are adding up from their original contractual agreement. It's basically like fake money appearing out of nowhere. Right? So if you're a franchise owner and you see this, you would like shit your pants because you're like, oh gosh, I'm ruined. I'm ruined. Right? My life is over. Right? So it says blank, therefore blank owes BAM an approximate $163,000. $163,000. My God, dude. That is insanity. It says, however, if blank agrees to, here's the extortion part. You guys ready? I've been talking about this for a while. Here's the extortion-y part. It says, however, if blank agrees to transfer ownership of the franchise location and all of the assets and to further comply with all post-termination obligations, BAM is willing to waive any payments owed by blank. Please communicate your agreement, this offer. We trust that you'll strictly adhere to this post-termination obligations. Should you have any questions, contact me. So you guys understand what happened here? Gabe had a lot of inventory in his store, and his store was doing well. So guess what corporate did? They came in, claimed that he owed all these crazy fees due to whatever random stipulations in a contract, said he would have to pay them unless he just gave him the store for free and walked away. Why would any company walk away from $168,000 in damages? Because they know they wouldn't get it and they can get the inventory for free. It's just a threat. It's all it is a threat. This is just a threat and extortion to get a franchise owner out when they want the inventory of the store. It's exactly what happened with Crystal, and that's what happens here. Now, whether or not Crystal did things wrong or did things muddy, that's another conversation. But that's what's happening here. Bricks and Minifigs found out they could make a lot of money if they got this guy out of the store and just stole all of his inventory. And that's why they're claiming he owes almost $200,000. But he doesn't have to pay it if he just gives the store up, right? It is absolute asinine BS.